Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. This is the Political Spotlight. Welcome, one and all. Hope you're doing well. It's been a great day, a wonderful day here in East Central Indiana, and it's been an even better evening. Just getting in from, there's been a lot of things going on. Muncie City held a special council meeting this evening. Winchester held their council meeting this evening. Have a lot of things going on from Madison County. Of course, the election day 2023 keeps ticking closer and closer. So there's a lot of things going on with that. And we have a lot of things just always on the plate here. Thank you for tuning in. I do want to tell you all, this is the 55th episode of the program. Remember, we're longtime broadcasters here, but this is a baby channel because we're starting all over. And we are going to be doing, during this episode, another one of the two-part shows. So first part of the show, we're going to be talking with a candidate. It's going to be the 7th candidate interview in our 2023 candidate interview series. We are welcoming candidate Norma Norman to the show. What an amazing name. I've fondly referred to the candidate as N squared. So we'll be talking to her about all of that. And then after that interview, we're going to be talking about the Mo Money, Mo Problems in the city of Muncie. Show me the money. I'm going to ask the Ridenour administration to show me the money. We're going to be talking about that. We've got a lot of things to talk about there. So we're going to get to all of that. I do want to ask all of you living in the Muncie area, if you know anybody that lives, works, or plays, more importantly, if they vote, or they should be voting. If they don't vote, they should. Maybe if they've been registered but they've not voted in a while, you might want to tell them that this election might be an election that they want to get out and vote in. Before we get started, I just want to make sure we've got it shared here, but I will remind you all that you can use the link to share the show to anyone and everyone that you know in the Muncie area. Please feel free to share it to your social media pages, your groups, any place in Muncie that you know where there are people that need to hear from candidates. It's always a good thing, and making sure that candidates' voices are heard and in front of as many citizens possible is what we should all be striving for here. So please feel free to share the show. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we are going to be doing a candidate interview. This is our 7th candidate interview in the series, and I know it's been kind of sporadic. We do one here, and then a couple shows go by, and then we do one here, and then we go by. It's getting ready to really pick up, and I know it's kind of chaotic because some people are like, a lot of people like the candidate interviews, especially if you're hearing from candidates in your area. But for people who are outside of the area, they're like, oh, just get to it. These are very important, people. Even if you don't live in Muncie, it's important to listen to what this candidate has to offer. You might hear her say something, or when I have them in on, you might hear them say something that resonates with you and that you might want to hear out of one of your candidates. So there's always something to take away from these shows, even if you don't live or vote in the area where we're talking about. So don't be so close-minded, okay? We're going to be welcoming her on. And let's see here. Give me one second. Norma Norman, special guest. Norma Norman, district, not district. It's the county. Sorry, too many races. It's the city clerk race. She is joining us right now. Hello, Norma.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And you?
Doing great, doing great. Nice little fall scenery in the background there.
Yeah, I love fall.
Yeah, right. You like the temperatures or just the fall season?
I just love the whole season.
Okay, all
The
right.
cold temperatures I could do without.
Right. Very good. Well, you are winding down. We just have a few more weeks, really a few more days until the election is here. Are you ready for it to be over?
I am. I believe all candidates probably are too.
Right.
It's been a long year.
Absolutely. It has been a very long year. It seems like this year has been going on for quite some time. It's definitely been a long campaign season. So for those that don't know who you are, why don't you give the people a little bit of biography on who Norma Norman is?
Okay, I was born and raised here in Muncie, Indiana. I graduated from Southside High School. I married my high school sweetheart, and we have 2 grown sons. I'm still here. Always be here. Muncie is my hometown.
Where did you go to school at? Where did you graduate from?
Southside High School.
Okay, Southside High School. Okay.
I'm still living on the south side of town.
Okay. Oh, that's south side proud. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
And so I always like candidates that always have some little tricky either slogan or whatnot. I definitely like the names that you can remember. You definitely have a name that's easy to remember. Norman.
Right. Easy name to remember, easy button to push.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking. Yeah. I like that. I heard you say that before. I like that. And I was talking to producer Kate last night, and I said, wouldn't it be great if her husband's name was Norman? It would be Norman, and Norman.
We actually joked about naming one of our sons that, but I wouldn't do that to him.
That would be amazing. Oh God. Well, good. So, you have it's a little bit different than a lot of candidates. People running for council, unless you've been a city councilor before, or unless you've been a town councilor, if you lived in like Daleville or Albany and then moved or whatever, you have no idea what to expect until you get there. The situation where you're at is a little bit different because you actually have quite a bit of experience in the office in which you're running for.
I do, absolutely.
So talk to me a little bit about that.
Years.
Okay, so yeah, talk to us a little bit about that, if you would. You've been in the clerk's office before. You've not been the elected clerk before, but talk about like what you went in and what all positions you've held in that office.
I've only held the chief deputy clerk position. I was brought in by Phyllis Reagan.
Okay.
So I served under her, and then Melissa Peckinpah.
Okay. So I got that wrong earlier. So you've actually served under 2 previous elected clerks. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so you served in the chief deputy position, and you said that was for 10 years?
Over 10 years. Yeah, well over 10 years.
Okay. And so what are the kinds of things, being the chief deputy, that you would do in that office? For people that don't know, Indiana is set up where we have different classes of cities. You have a 3rd class, 2nd class, 1st class. There's only one city in Indiana that's a 1st class city. The majority of cities are either 2nd or 3rd class, and then you have towns. In towns, you will have a town clerk, clerk treasurer. In cities, you have clerk treasurer. In the city of Muncie, it's specifically just a city clerk. What is the office of the city clerk for? What's the function of the office?
The main function is we're the clerk for the city court.
Okay.
But we also do the city council records. We have the city council secretary in our office. We do tort claims.
Okay.
Or they still do. I don't anymore.
Right. It's kind of hard to get out of that. How long have you been out of the office now?
4 years.
Okay, so you went out. You basically went out when the new clerk came in.
Correct. Chief deputy clerk is an appointed position.
Okay.
And because I was appointed by a Democrat, Republican won the last election. She brought in a
Okay,
Republican chief deputy.
so it wasn't like you were doing your job poorly and you were let go or anything. It was just basically to the victor goes the spoils, and the new clerk changed the chief deputy position.
Absolutely. Actually, when I left, I made sure all the accounts were current and balanced down to zero.
Yeah, good. Okay, good.
I didn't leave a mess for her.
Yeah, right. That's good. What have you been doing since you've not been in office?
Well, for the first year I wasn't in office. My dad was on the last stages of life, so I spent a lot of time back and forth. And since then, I just really haven't been doing much of anything.
Okay. Okay. And so, is there anything in the office? Is there anything in the office that you would need to get caught up to speed on? Is there anything that you're like, oh, I was the chief deputy, but I don't know that. Like, are you day one? Do you think that you could go in there and, seamlessly start running and have no issue?
I believe I could. The only changes would be, I'm sure, court cost increase.
Sure.
Any changes Belinda made. I don't know what all changes she made.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any, if any,
Sure.
other than a kiosk out front.
Yeah. I think, and I think they basically now they have I think one of the only main differences, like the council packet, all that stuff is uploaded to the city page at the same time that council and everything gets it. But
it was those are I don't know about always, but I know Melissa had started that, getting the packets uploaded.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So if you do, I've always said, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but a lot of people, when they go into City Hall, they're, generally people aren't there to see the mayor, or,
right.
The city council doesn't have like daytime office hours there. Hell, there's no even offices there. They meet like once a month and are there. So to me, I mean, the face of city government is the city clerk's office.
I agree
with that. The majority of the people coming into city building, whether you might be going over to get police records or reports, but half the time those people come to your office first and you send them across, whatever. But a large majority of the people coming into City Hall on any given day is going to be coming into your office either to pay a fine or to ask, a question. And maybe it's something you don't even do and you got to send them over to the county clerk's office or vice versa. But the amount of people that the clerk's office deals with in a day is a large amount of people.
That is correct.
And I've always said that, having a well, trained staff that's happy and pleasant and ready to deal with you is very important, because you're the first. A lot of people might not be in the best situation when they're coming to see you because they're paying fines or they've dealt with court or whatnot. And so, you guys kind of have a big responsibility in how people's interactions go with city government. So I think that's a big thing. How many people work in the office? Do you know?
7.
Okay. So there's
the clerk, the chief deputy, and then council secretary, and 4 out front.
Okay. And so you would be leading a pretty sizable office there then. Yes. And are those all full-time positions?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so do you see any kind of change, or is there anything in the office that you're hoping that you can improve upon, or do you have any, major sweeping changes that you're wanting to bring forward, or what's the staple that you're running on?
I don't really have any major changes I want to make. I don't know about the new employees that's been there since I have left, but the employees that were there that are still there, that was there when I was there, they're very competent. I want to make sure everybody is cross-trained and efficient at everybody else's job. when I was in there, there was a lot of times we were very short-staffed, and I don't know. I don't think that was a good look for the office. So I want to make sure that everybody, somebody can just step in and help somebody else, even if that person is normally off or is off.
Absolutely. There was a question that popped up. I can happily say that while obviously there were the 29 that had small errors, she definitely filled out her CAN 12 properly.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I will let everyone know that you did fill out your paperwork properly. So that's big. So let me ask you this. Do you know, okay, this is a good question that's popped up here. Do you know, I don't know who right now currently is the chief deputy. Do you know, okay, I don't know what your position is on that, or if you thought about that. Do you plan to keep that chief deputy? Do you plan to bring someone else in? Have you thought that far ahead?
I've heard that she's close to retirement. So I would want to see how close she is to retirement. If she's ready to retire now, I'd be happy to replace her.
Sure.
But because I was replaced,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think that's fair.
Okay, sure.
So I would like to see, where she is on her retirement.
Right. So do you feel that, let me ask you this, is you talked about cross training, and I've heard you talked about that before. Mm-hmm. Is that something that has been an issue in the past, or maybe I don't know if that's an issue now or not. Are there people that have in the past not been cross trained, or that, is that something that does not happen currently?
When I was there, everybody was cross-trained, but maybe not efficient at it. So we would struggle, and it would take us a lot longer to get to the answer that we needed.
Right. So you want to make sure that everybody can just fire off, and that, everybody knows every aspect of the job.
Right. And I don't know about the new employees that's been put in there since I've left. But if they haven't been cross-trained, they need to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then as far as the city council and all of that, hold on one second. We've got someone that's texting a question in.
Okay.
Okay. They were asking a question before that they want to ask near the end of the interview. Is there anything that you would do differently as far as the council secretary? Now, who's currently the council secretary? Is that the clerk, or is the elected clerk, or is it one of the deputy clerks?
It's one of the deputy clerks. It's Lesia Jones.
Okay. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know if she was the actual. If like that's an actual position in the clerk's office.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I know that the clerk's office recently picked up the duties for the Board of Works too.
When I was there, we did take the bid packets, but that's all we did for them.
Okay.
And from what I understand, Lesia also now does the Board of Works minutes.
Does the Board of Works. And so to me, I think that's a good service, because the minutes were different, from one to the other, because they were being taken by two different, people.
Right.
Do you think that that's something that you would keep? Is that something that you would try to, I don't know what caused that change to occur, but is that something that you would want to continue on, or, have you thought about that, keeping Lesia or whoever would be doing that in that same position with the Board of Works?
Well, obviously I need to talk to Lesia about it, see how she feels about it. But if she doesn't have a problem with it, I think that would be fine. Lesia does wonderful with taking minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, she does a fantastic job. I tell
Absolutely.
you, I don't know what the system you guys use. I don't know how you guys do that. If it's just sitting there and jotting things down and then listening to a recording of it. I don't know if you use some kind of transcriber. I don't know what the deal is, but I praise, no matter what's going wrong in the city of Muncie, no matter what, and there's a lot that can go wrong. No matter what is going wrong, I always praise how the council, for the most part, runs their meetings, and the clerk, how the clerk's office handles the minutes. You guys have some of the clerk's office you guys did prior. It's not something that's been just under one clerk. And it's probably a lot to do with the fact that Lacey's been involved, even before. But even before Lacey was there, you guys kept good minutes. The Muncie City Clerk's office has always done a damn good job keeping the minutes. And I always tell everybody, if you burp and you're at the podium, it's in the minutes. Some city governments do not. Their minutes are just atrocious. You would fall over if you saw them. And so you guys have done a fantastic job. So whatever you're doing, keep up. If you win, please keep up that good job. So that is something that's very important. Is there anything that you feel that you haven't been able to get out or express to the voters? This has been going now for 10 months. Is there anything that you feel that people don't know about you that you wish that they knew?
Other than the fact that, like I said, I've been out there in there for over 10 years. I handled all the bookkeeping. So all these state board of accounts that we aced or had no problems with, that was me handling that with the state board of accounts. I've got more experience than the current clerk. And I loved my job when I was in there.
Right. So
let a chance to get it back.
And let me ask you this: how long are you looking to work? Like, is this something? Are you committed? You would definitely be committed through the full 4 years, correct? It's or not more. Something that you okay, sure, yeah, right.
Yes.
But I guess what I was getting at is Muncie has this habit right now of people getting elected and then just a couple years into it going out one way or another. So I think that's very, very important.
Well, God willing, I'll still be alive and I'll still be in the clerk's office.
Absolutely. There was a question that got brought up in the comments here, and it's something that just kind of came up tonight. And so I'll get your opinion on this because this is something that I've not really thought of before. It makes sense. But tonight, matter of fact, just a few hours before your meeting, before our talk, there was a city council meeting that was held, and they were talking about the 2024 budget. So, depending on what happens, it will be a budget that you would be working under. And the current clerk asked for there to budget an attorney for the clerk's position. What's your thoughts on having an attorney strictly for your office that would be budgeted for you if you needed that? Is that something that you would agree with? You don't agree with? What's your thoughts on that?
That's kind of hard. I'd hope that I would never need it. But there was an instance when I was served under Melissa that we did get sued along with the city of Muncie for firing an employee.
Okay.
And the city attorney said they couldn't represent us because of a conflict of interest. So Melissa did have to get our own attorney.
Okay. So to me it makes sense. It makes sense to have that position if by statute you are definitely permitted to have representation. I'm not opposed to that. So it makes sense. I
hope I would never need that.
Right. For most things, for doing what you're doing, most of the time it seems like now most of what the clerk's office handles, either the city council attorney can deal with or the city attorney can deal with, and so in most cases, correct. If you can save that money and you're not, whatever I guess they're getting paid one way or another, but if you can deal with it that way, that makes sense. But it would make sense to have, someone there for, something like that to happen.
Yeah, I thought it was weird when the city attorney couldn't represent us since our paychecks were coming from the city of Muncie.
Right. Yeah, I could see why that would be an issue, but yeah, that's interesting. Is there before we do this thing, and I've never done this before, but I think that you'll appreciate this. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want people to know about you?
Other than the fact that I've got way more experience than the current clerk, I think I'm friendlier than she is.
So I'll be honest. Because I don't like putting candidates on the spot until you're actually in office, and then I don't have a problem chewing your ass. I wasn't going to put you in a position like that. I tell you, and I'll make no bones about this. I do not get along with the current clerk. I would treat her respectfully. I treat her respectfully. I just think that she is not a personable person. I actually, in the description of this episode, I specifically said, I talking about you a little bit, and I said, what does Norman plan on bringing to the table? Bilbrey, for one, believes that her better attitude already puts her miles ahead of her opponent, but will the voters feel the same way? Time will tell. And
so.
I definitely mean that. I cannot tell you. I know what the issue is. I never had a problem with the current clerk. We never crossed paths wrong. Matter of fact, it was 4 years ago yesterday, because it showed up in my memories on social media. I interviewed your former boss and the current clerk. And when I interviewed them, I told both of them, because I had a personal relationship with Melissa. I went to high school with her and had known her for a very long time, since elementary. And I said, to the current clerk, that doesn't matter. I'll be fair to both of you, and then I will wait until after the interview's in to make my decision on, who I'm going to tell people, which I knew it was going to be Melissa, but I wasn't pushing Melissa ahead of time. And so I did the interviews, I put them out, I let people have their chance, and then I came out and I said, I'm endorsing Melissa. No question. And the current clerk just absolutely went crazy with that. She sent me a really nasty message. She blocked me. And then during one of the first council meetings, she literally elbowed me in the back of the council chambers. Like, literally, and I tell this story all the time. We walked down a hallway where there should have been, I got over and gave her all the space in the room, and literally, like a senior would do a freshman in like high school, she sticks her elbow out and like jabs me in the ribs, and I was like, are you kidding me? So I just I think that's crazy. I will ask
you, you'd never get that from me. I'm just not that kind of person.
You're not going to elbow me in the back of the council chambers.
I'm not going to do that to anybody.
Well, I appreciate that. Let me ask you this. I know that for the city of Muncie, records request and the majority of the stuff that deals with, like anything I deal with, I think in probably 7 years, I've only turned in 1 or 2 record requests to the clerk's office. The majority of those go through the HR department, and that they handle that for the administration.
I believe I helped you with one of those.
Oh yes, you did. you did help me with one of those. But as far as it goes with anything that might relate to the court or anything like that, I mean, what's your stance on that, being transparent and doing everything that would fall within the law? Are you're open to? How would you run your office as far as that goes?
Absolutely. If it's requested, we would get it to you. Confidential information we would black out, so you wouldn't get the confidential address and social security numbers and stuff like that, driver's license numbers. But you would get the complete record.
Very good. Very good. So, okay. Well, I'm going to give you the last word. But before, first of all, where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you, if they have any other questions, or if they want to help or whatnot through the rest of the campaign? Where can people get in contact with you at? Okay,
I'm on Facebook, Norman for Muncie City Clerk.
Okay.
Or my email is nnorman2024, think I'm positive, at Gmail.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so give me 1 second here. I want to.
It's 2024.
2024.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah. For Kate putting that up there. Okay. We have we had somebody that I've never done this before, but I've never been asked this, but we actually had somebody that wanted to call in and give you a personal endorsement. Okay. So give me just 1 second here. We're going to add this person to the screen here. Hold on 1 second. I'm adding you to the screen. Okay. You're on.
Oh God, don't put me on the screen. I look like hell right now.
No, we can't. We can't. No one can see you.
Okay.
You want to tell everybody who you are?
Oh, am I on?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Sarah Beach, and I just wanted to come on and tell everyone that I worked with Norman for 8 years when I was up at City Hall as the HR director. And I've not ever done this, but I want to publicly endorse Norman for this position as clerk. She was one of the most competent employees that the city of Muncie was blessed to have. She knows her job inside and out. She's very, very thorough. She's kind, but she knows what her job is. And I just wanted to say that after 8 years of working with Norma, she deserves the vote for this position. She would make an excellent city clerk.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that.
Well, there you go.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, very good, Sarah. I'm glad that you called in. I listen. I got to be honest. Your opponent is not interviewing with me. That's a big surprise. I announced that the other night. You've got my endorsement as well. I hope that you win. I've just not had a good experience. I'm sure some people have. I just have not had a good experience with the clerk's office. I hate that. I can't say that. I have had a good experience with members in the clerk's office, but I have not had a good experience with the clerk. And what I hate about that is if I say I've had a good experience with X or Y, it gets X and Y in trouble. So I have done everything that I could to just steer clear because I was doing things that had always been done in the clerk's office. And when this clerk came in, she literally people started getting in trouble because they were assisting me just like I had always been assisted. And I think that is extremely tacky. I think that's not, you can't run an office that way. And so I am hoping above all else that you win this race. And,
can I add one more thing?
Yeah, you're still here.
This really is just a heads up to Norma if she gets elected, which I'm hoping she will. But I didn't realize that the clerk's office is now doing the Board of Works stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Norma?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember or not, but when we took office, there was a big payout that went to the previous person that did the Board of Works minutes, because that is a separate position, paid out of a separate line item, and it was a violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act on what they were doing. So I'm just saying, whoever's doing that job, they're getting paid 40 40 hours of city tax dollars to do the job they're hired to do, which is that of the clerk's office.
Yeah.
Correct.
Anything in addition to that is overtime. And overtime is calculated based on her base pay at the clerk's office and what the pay is of the Board of Works secretary. And then you average those two salaries and multiply it by 1.5 times. So just saying what they're doing is probably not legal.
Okay, thank you. I will definitely check into
You
that.
might check into that. And
Absolutely.
they might have dealt with that, but that's something, I mean, it just popped up real quickly. So who knows? They may,
Well,
or,
unless
you know,
they have somehow eliminated that job and then it is incorporated into their job description and the city council has approved that.
That's
just
absolutely
saying.
something I'll check into.
yeah, I don't recall them doing any of that before the council, but I'd have to go back and see. But I definitely agree with what you're saying there, Sarah. That's definitely interesting.
Well, again, the Board of Works is not part of the clerk's office.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would assume the Board of Works is paying for that secretarial job, and there is an actual job description for that. And probably, I'm pretty sure there's a line item in the budget for it.
That's interesting.
It's been a while,
Look,
but
yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no
Vote
problem.
for
Thank you,
Norma
Sarah. I
Norman.
will definitely check into that.
Very, very good. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, bye-bye.
Yep, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Well, so there was that. I just wanted to, she had texted and asked if she could come on and give you an endorsement. And I said, well, sure. I make the rules here, I guess. Nobody had ever asked before. So Elizabeth Edgel says, I love this candidate. What an amazing interview. I've learned a lot. I didn't get what Belinda said today at the candidate forum. She said all the ordinances were done today. She said they weren't. Yes.
Because I watched that too.
Did you catch that? She said that everything I thought they were all done. I agree with Elizabeth. I thought everything had been up to date. And then today she said they had not been. So I don't understand, what she's talking there, because I thought that's one of the big things that, she ran on. And then now today she's saying, well, we didn't get that done. So they did not get that done in this 4 years, which, look, I get it. It's probably a big task, but that's definitely interesting. And then, it was just really strange. The other thing, I guess, it was talking about, she wouldn't know how to write up ordinances or whatever. It's not like she's writing up ordinances anyways, but if she wanted someone to write an ordinance for her, she could simply go to one of the council members or, somebody. So that, it's very, very strange. So, well, very good. Norma, you and I have personally not had many conversations like this, so I definitely appreciate your time. Like I said, I've been backing you since you filed. There's a whole host of people that have asked me since the election last time, since we found out that Melissa got beat, who's going to run in 2023, and nobody knew. So I'm glad that you're running. And
when I heard she didn't have anybody running against her, I couldn't just give it to her.
Right.
I was good at my job. I loved my job. I'm going to try to take it back.
Well, I can appreciate that. So thank you very much. I appreciate you being on here with us. You're always welcome, and we'll be following what happens.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Bye-bye.
All righty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Norma Norman, N squared. It's what'd she say? An easy name to remember, an easy button to push. When you go in, it's the Democrat candidate running for Muncie City Clerk, and she definitely has my endorsement here for that race. So she's, besides a couple of council people, one of the first people I've said that about. So very good. Okay. Also, ladies and gentlemen, so we are now going to be kicking into the next part of the show. I want to let you guys know that what's Elizabeth said here? I was the one that asked. Yeah, ask why she needed the lawyer. And I was gonna. Yeah, that was very, very strange. I'm glad that you asked that. And look, I know the reason that she asked for that, and I believe it's because earlier this year she was sued, but she was not sued in her official capacity as the clerk. She was sued as a private citizen running for office, and so therefore a clerk, the attorney that would be hiring in to be the clerk attorney would not have been permitted to help her because she wasn't being sued as the clerk. She was being sued as a private citizen running as a candidate. And so I just thought that was very, very strange. And it's interesting to me, but I could see some bizarro world where she hires Don McClellan. And that is absolutely very, very, very crazy because that would be horrible. All right. She can't do her paperwork right. That's what Audie Barber has to say. Okay. So just so you know, I'd set this up as a 2-part show. We had the interview, and then we have this next part we're going to talk about. There was some late breaking news that came in right as we were getting the show ready. So we have this situation with Muncie that we're going to talk about. And then I actually have a third thing. But in order to do this next part of the show, I need to find this guy and do this here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Did you get that? Let's see here. We're going to be waiting on the breaking news comes will be the last part. The third part. Oh no, not the Muncie news. The Muncie news is getting ready to come. The thing I talked to you about. The other thing you already know about. It's the picture you sent me, Kate. Is the third thing. So, actually, can you pop up here real quick?
Yes.
I am here Audie is. I was waiting for Audie. I need to.
So I'm a substitute for Mr. Barber?
Oh, no.
Yes, you're awesome.
You're the substitute for me. 1 second. You guys talk amongst yourself. I'll be right back.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, Kate, what's happening?
Not too much other than Bilbrey still hasn't paid that damn invoice.
Well, don't hold your breath. Oh, are we live right now? So, I had to get off my cell phone. Barbermania. I had to get off my cell phone to get hooked up on here. And did Chris say anything about breaking news yet?
Well, he started to, and then he said, no, that's later. And then I'm just confused because I thought the thing that he was going to talk about Muncie was kind of breaking news.
Well, I'll wait till he gets on here. We're going to talk about the council meeting. It was pretty short and sweet tonight.
It was.
I just wanted to make sure that all the we'll start to count. Oh shit! I only got 2 cigarettes, Kate.
Oh Lord! You better go get another pack and grab your glasses so you can read comments, man.
Yeah, no kidding. I got my glasses.
Okay.
Have Darla bring in cigarettes.
Yeah, tell Darla you need a cigarette run.
Yeah, she probably heard me. But anyhow, city council meeting was.
It was pretty straightforward to the point.
Pretty straightforward to the point. I got up there a couple different times. They're wanting to give the city employees, AFSCME employees, and the city employees that are not union, they're wanting to give them only a 5% raise, which everybody else got 10%. So
The union should be looking at 10% too, because don't they have some kind of thing where they're supposed to be matching?
well, there used to be a Me Too clause in there, and I think it's been deleted out because at one point, if the police department didn't want to go on with it, they didn't have to get an approval from the fire department and AFSCME and so on and so forth. They could just terminate it at any time. Either side could. So I think that's what's happened here, and I think the AFSCME contract's like that too. I don't know 100%, but I think that's where it's going. But those folks need to stand up and fight. They just reelected their new president for the union and stuff. So it's the same guy that they had before, Burgess's. So
So the new president's the same as the old president?
yeah, he got reelected. So
Why was Jeff so tense tonight, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know that he was, he was going through the motions.
Yeah, I think everybody is getting. I've been tense for like 3 weeks, man. It's this election season has been very strange. It's not been hardly anything been going on. It's been real quiet, but it's been, the mood is so weird. There's a weird vibe.
It is. Annie, I think the AFSCME Me Too clause, I believe if the fire department and the police department give it up, then AFSCME don't have nothing to fall back on. I think that's the way it is. Don't quote me on that 100%, but I think that's the way it works. So if the fire department and the police department drop out of it, then that leaves the AFSCME out there hanging. Chris, was you going to talk about the bonuses?
Well, yeah, we'll do that at the end. First of all, I want to add, at the end of your segment, because something else got added at the end of the show night.
Okay.
Okay, Mama, I just want to pop in here and say that it is always appropriate to ask a question that will embarrass Kristopher.
Oh yeah, there's never a problem with that. Yeah,
all right, you guys have fun.
Yeah, I am not embarrassable. I will tell you this, I was going to wait until the night, but I'm just not good at that. My mom says, I don't know if my grandparents are watching. My mom says it's a Bilbrey thing. She says, I tell you, those Bilbreys, they'd buy each other Christmas, and then they'd tell everybody what they got each other before Christmas got here.
Chris, you want me to tell you something?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something that happened to me this weekend. I went to Smoky Mountains this weekend. Had a really good time with my wife.
Yeah.
We went to Dollywood, and I had she'd been looking around all these Christmas shops there at Dollywood, and she wouldn't pull the trigger and buy her a Christmas ornament. Okay. So while she was going through the emporium or whatever you want to call it, there at the end where you go through and buy stuff, she was getting her a shirt and stuff, and I seen a coat of mini collars from Dolly Parton.
Elizabeth.
And it was a Christmas tree ornament. So I snatched it up and I ran up and paid for it real quick and put it in my bag where she couldn't see it. Well, on the way home, I asked her, I said, did you ever find your Christmas tree ornament? She says, no. I said, which one did you like? She says, oh, they had this one that was a coat of many collars. And I kind of just stopped, pulled it out of the bag and said,
God, you idiot. So did you plan on doing it then? Or were you going to wait?
I was going to wait. I was going to wait till Christmas time and give it to her.
No. Shit. You are the worst person to talk. You can't keep a secret for nothing.
Well, there's a few that I can keep, but
no, that's the reason Audie has this extreme honesty situation, that he has to be extremely honesty because he cannot keep secrets. He cannot do it.
I can keep them if I have to. If it's
a
push to come to shove.
Yeah, sure.
But I just wanted to point out to her when I gave it to her that I do know her.
You do know her well. You do, yeah, right. That's right. I do pay attention sometimes.
So
well, I gotta trump your sweetness for your wife and letting you know I did pay my invoice for your birthday I am going to that thing with you.
When did
I
you
did
pay
it weeks ago. We've been playing a game
Okay.
because yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I
Good.
mean,
So
what?
you kept it a secret from me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I'm getting it for his birthday.
So somebody, I think Annie asked why he was going through the motion. Why I think he was just going through the motions. Not much changed on the budget. There was some line items that was changed in the Beach Grove, things like that. But the only thing that really increased was the 5% raise that everybody got across the board. So I think,
what-
I think that's the reason they were just going through the motions, because nothing really changed on the budget that much. So unless they hit it like they did last year and all that shit. So
Yeah.
and them budgets, the way the controllers sent them out and everything, it was like reading Greek. If you didn't know how to read Greek, you couldn't follow that budget paper.
Well, so I've got a couple thing. Joe Black said, Elizabeth, are you asking what the question was that was going to embarrass me? She was asking if I paid this invoice to go on this thing with Audie and Darla, is what they were asking. I think that's what she's talking about.
Here's the thing. That's on a Friday
I don't know
night,
what they're
isn't it,
talking about.
Kate?
They're all scared that magical question will be asked this year is the reason the election is so somber. What magical question?
What magical question?
I don't know. We're not following. What are you talking about, Kate? Kate seems to know. Oh, asking Troy. What's the question? Yo, you got to come up with it.
Yeah.
I am totally lost. All right, onward, forward, ho. The audience knows what they're talking about. As long as they know, that's all that matters.
They're in their own little world.
Yeah,
down there.
I'm fine. That's fine. I'm good. Section.
They're just watching. They got us muted. They're just watching us.
Yeah, they're talking. They're here
They're
for
just talking
themselves.
amongst each other.
Section 14.1 wages. After the year 2021, if the police or fire department receives an increase in their base pay in any given year, AFSCME shall receive an increase in base pay equivalent to the average of the raise received by those departments.
Now, is that the Annie, is that the 2021 contract or is that the new contract?
It says after the year 2021.
After the year.
Yeah.
Well, they could have changed it. I was told tonight that it was taken out by the police department in 2021. So
I don't think anybody knows.
Well, it's 10%. If it's still in there, it's 10%. But the police department told me tonight that it had been taken out. So
Oh, nobody knows what's going on.
nobody knows. That's the thing. Nobody knows, or they don't want to tell nobody because they want to come back with ammunition later and say, "Oh, see, it was taken out, so we don't have to give them 10%."
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
I wish they'd get them damn lights fixed because it's darker than
What light?
at City Hall. Remember how we had to do this every year?
Oh,
Daylight
yeah.
saving time and all that shit, and it's darker than when the police officers are afraid.
Yeah,
to go
wait.
out with all.
What are you saying? The FOP contract has nothing to do with AFSCME.
I understand that.
If the FOP took out Me Too clause, that's on the FOP. That doesn't mean the AFSCME doesn't have the Me Too clause.
The Me Too clause covers if the firemen and the policemen get a raise of 10%. The AFSCME
Yes,
people get 10%.
right. So,
But-
or if the firemen and AFSCME get a raise, the police get it. Or
Correct.
if the police and AFSCME get it, then the firemen get it.
I
So
understand
if
that.
the police department take the Me Too clause out of their contract,
That cancels all the Me Too clauses.
that's
That's the way it
bullcrap.
works.
What?
That's the way it works. That's the way it works.
No.
Yes, it is.
What sense does that make?
Because the Me Too clause says, I get what they get.
Right. And
Okay.
so if
That's like the
they
operators-
take it out of their contract, that's got nothing to do with me.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you that's what the holdup is right now on this contract. because AFSCME still does not have their contract. They were supposed to go in last week and negotiate, but I don't know what's been.
I heard they're still they're broke down.
They are broke down. They were broke down, and 2 weeks ago they received a letter on Monday council night. What was that? The second. They had received a letter at 4:00 in the afternoon that the city wanted to sit down and renegotiate the contract with them. So I haven't heard nothing since then. So we'll see.
All right. So talk to me here. I got to make sure you understand this. I got to make sure I'm not understanding why you're thinking that. I know what you're saying, that it's for each other.
Correct.
Let's just say for the sake of argument, you're a fireman and I'm a cop and I've got a contract that's got Me Too in it. And the reason I got Me Too is saying if they're going to give you a 2% raise, they're talking to you and they give you a 2% raise. Bang, right there. No matter what, I get the 2% raise.
Correct.
Well, if you're trying to argue for better insurance or something, and you're saying, look, I'm willing to take Me Too out of there, that affects you if they give me the raise. But if I still got Me Too in my clause and they give you a 3% raise, then they still got to give me a 3% raise.
The way it was explained to me, that they all have the Me Too clause in there.
Uh-huh.
But if one gives it up, they all have to give it up.
Well, whoever explained that was an idiot.
Well, I'm just telling you what they told me. So
I don't know who told you that.
To me, so
yeah, what?
But
you understand what I'm saying, though,
I know
right?
exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
Because it doesn't make sense that because right here, public safety doesn't care about AFSCME contract, but AFSCME has an interest in the public safety contract because the public safety is always getting better shit than AFSCME.
That. And I'm not arguing that point. And like the union I'm in, I'm an operator, and the laborers have an agreement in with the contractors that if an operator is working over 8 hours, that they're supposed to get the overtime after 8 hours also. But a lot of people don't get that, and I don't know the way it was explained to me by some union members of the city departments.
Yeah,
that if one gave it up, then nobody else gets it. If they bowed out of it, then they don't get the Me Too clause.
If you bowed out it, you wouldn't get it.
I understand that part, but I'm just saying that if one group bowed out, that the other two groups wouldn't have a say.
That does not. Yeah, I would be willing to bet the show.
What did Annie say? I didn't get to read it all.
What?
Annie said something about.
Are you saying that if police gave up the Me Too, that automatically comes out of the fire contract? There's no way it's negotiated. Yeah. Whoever told you that is way off base.
Okay.
If that were true, you'd have different people negotiating. So you're not going in and negotiating your contract. I'm going in and negotiating your contract.
Let me read this. Okay. The guy says he can quote me. He says, Audie, you are right. We changed the Me Too to an all or none. Both us and the cops dropped the Me Too because we previously agreed if either of us wanted to drop out, we both would. The AFSCME contract still has it.
Wait, there's 3 people though. So 2 people did something and that screws AFSCME?
Let me finish reading it. The AFSCME contract still has it. I am obviously not part of the AFSCME contract negotiations, but I believe the city wants them to drop the Me Too as part of this year's contract negotiations. So see, the fire department and the police department have dropped it.
Yeah, okay. But AFSCME still has it.
But AFSCME still has it in their contract because they're
right. And cities wanting them to drop it, and AFSCME saying, F off.
Right.
We're not dropping it.
Right. But the fire department and the police department have both dropped out of the Me Too clause.
Right. Oh, that's
I
stupid.
don't know if it's something they gave up for
Sure.
the fire department or what. Or for
AFSCME
the
will.
police department
I
or
agree with
whatever.
Annie. AFSCME will not drop that. They'll.
And
They
they may
will.
not.
They will
And they shouldn't.
go to the mattresses.
And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. So I agree. They should get the same amount of raise everybody else does. You know, the council.
This is Ridenour bullshit.
It is right now our bullshit. And when I get elected, I'll work on getting the 10% raise that the AFSCME people deserve. If you noticed at the meeting tonight, I went up there 2 or 3 times, and because they was only given 5% to the employees, and then I was told, well, that's just for the employees that are not part of the union. Which screws asked me to drop out. Look, public gets 10% and civil employees. That I agree, Annie, and that's what I asked them tonight, and that's the reason that cardboard box got back up there and says, well, our employees that aren't union haven't got a raise, worked through COVID and didn't get a raise. That's not what I'm saying. They deserve a raise. They deserve as much as everybody else got. And the council,
yeah, she was making a stupid point.
And the council on their budget this year give themselves a 5% raise in the budget that starts next year. Then they turned around and spin it and put it right back into the fund where the new council members that want to go to these classes can go to these classes.
Yeah.
But they didn't specify whether that 5% was, if they was doing that over the 4 years or just the first year. So I asked, what's his name? Wright. And he said, no, that's for the first year, because the math figured out the $6,300 that Aaron Clark was talking about was a $700 raise for the city council members. And that the first year that money would go into a fund to where they can go down to the classes in Indy and take the classes on the council meetings. But after the first year, the raise goes up 5%.
Yeah.
Goes to them at that point for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked the council, I said, you guys are giving the council next year a raise, but you're spending their money for them.
Well, sure.
So, you know, I think that should have been something that the next
But that happens every 4th year.
Yeah, you're probably right. But like I said, it's just for the first year. So, but all these people need a 10% raise. If the current mayor has to take it out of his edit fund, he needs to give them a 10% raise.
Well, now, okay, so now let's talk about that, because now Annie's brought that up. Let's talk about that. So I want to know, and Elizabeth, did you know this? And I was going to bring this up tonight, but they didn't have public comment. Did you know that the police and the firemen, on top of everything else they're getting, raises and whatnot, last week got a $3,000 bonus?
Okay, Chris, that's a timing issue. I don't agree with Dan sending it out at this time.
Yeah.
2 weeks before, 3 weeks before election.
Right.
What it is if you remember, the county employees got money from the ARP money.
So did the city employees last year.
Well, I was told that this was part of the.
Sure, but it's not coming out of ARP. It's coming out of edit. So,
I was told that this was the leftovers off the ARP money. Let me ask a question here. Let me ask them then.
So, I mean, do me a favor. Ask who you're asking if they got the email. Whoever you're asking, ask if they got the email.
What email?
An email went out from the city explaining what this was, what the bonus was.
Okay.
So if they got the email, crop their name out of it and send the body of the email to you. Or not. I've requested it through record request, so I don't care.
That's probably the best way.
I've requested it through record request.
Like I said, sometimes I don't agree with people,
Yeah.
but, you know, after I've said my piece to them and stuff, I can still go back and talk to them
Oh, sure.
even after I've, you know, said
Yeah.
shitty things about them. So just the way I am.
Who you talk to?
Who am I talking to?
Yeah, I know what you
Anybody.
mean. I know what you mean. I gotcha.
I was told that it only went to the people that worked in 2021 during the COVID, and that any of the new employees didn't get it. Any of the new firemen or policemen did not get it. It was just for the people that worked. And I was also told that
But how many years are we going to get money for working outside during COVID?
it's the leftover money from the way it was explained to me. Let me read it here.
No, I'm talking to David Long, who says it was for working during COVID. Did you work outside during COVID?
I did.
Outside.
I worked during COVID. I didn't get a bonus. They were told by the council in 2021 that they wanted to divvy up the money for small business, nonprofit, et cetera, et cetera. And then after that was finished, we would get the leftover funds. That's what this was.
Well, all I know is last year,
The timing issue is the big thing.
the city of Muncie sent out an email to everybody saying, "Oh, look what Dan Ridenour did for you. He got you all money." And then they sent out an email to everyone else saying, Dan Ridenour did this. But what really happened was the council and the ARP people worked on all of this, and it was a team effort, and Ridenour took the credit for it.
Ridenour
And what
takes
it
credit.
was it was the bonus.
And that's what happens with Ridenour. He takes
Yeah.
the credit for all the good stuff, but for all the shit, he don't take the credit for it. He
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Down to Jeff Green or somebody. Oh, that was my idea to
Sure.
do that. Da, 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 da. Guess what? Southway Plaza is dead, folks.
Oh, yeah.
It is dead. I've got good inside information that Dan has washed his hands with Southway Plaza. That's the reason nothing's getting done down there. I've got a thing back in March where he was at the laborers union saying, oh, we're going to get this done. It's an HVAC problem, da, 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 da. But you know what? He's washed his fucking hands with this.
Yeah.
He's done with Southway Plaza. He's done with the south side of Muncie, folks.
Yeah.
If the south side of Muncie pulls together and goes and votes,
they can rise again.
They can rise again. You're exactly right. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
I live on the south side of Muncie.
Yeah.
When I was born into this world, October 10th, 1970, my parents brought me home to the south side of Muncie. I got a scar right here on my head, 21st and High Street. Took a baseball to the head. Okay. 4 stitches. I can't get my hat straight now.
Hold on.
So I bled and bred and everything on the south side of Muncie.
Sure.
When I was 5 years old, my dad moved to South Selma because he got a really good deal on a house that could hold all 8 kids and 2 adults in it.
Right.
So we moved to the out to Selma area.
Outside of Selma.
South side of Selma. Actually, the north side or east side of Selma, I guess.
Okay.
But anyhow, my mom was a graduate from Southside High School. My dad went to Muncie Central. So, you know, Southside's always been in my blood. My family, a lot of people don't know it, but I was related to the Garretts that own Garrett Auto Sales. They always done business on the south side of Muncie. I think Chris may be related to part of them too.
Except before they were on the east side.
Huh?
Southeast side, but go ahead.
It's south side.
Yeah, I know.
First place I remember him being was down there at the where that Millennium Motors is now.
Oh, you don't remember him being on? I mean, that's where they were in my realm of consciousness, but
On
they were
29th
someplace
Street.
else before that too.
They were somewhere before then, but that was before I came along.
Yeah,
So
right.
Where did the $3,000 bonuses?
Okay, wait, pause. Wait. We gotta get this first.
Okay.
She did this. God forbid he give our police officers bonus. What a terrible mayor. No, No,
He
it's
didn't
got
do it.
nothing to do with, first of all, it's got nothing to do with giving the police bonuses. I'm perfectly fine. Pay the police officers $80 million a year. I don't care. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Number one, Dan didn't do this. If this is ARP money, it's federal government. So period. If this is ARP money, then thank Uncle Joe. And you know, Sir Spend-A-Lot, Todd Young, and all the Republicans that spend as much as the Democrats, and all the Democrats that spend more than them. Thank the federal government for the ARP money.
This guy sent me this email. This guy sent me this email. I have been, and this is his quote. I have been working with the Democrats and Republicans since late last year on this. Only those working in 2021 received it. We were told by council in 2021 that they wanted to divvy up the money for small business, nonprofit, et cetera, et cetera. And then after that was finished, we would get the leftover funds. That's what this is. This has nothing to do with the mayor. He just sent him the check 3 weeks before election. Don't have a problem with him divvying this money up for the police officers and the firemen.
Yeah.
Don't have a problem at all. It's a timing issue. It's a timing issue.
So are the God forbid that the street department people working out there and doing all that during COVID, did they get it? Did those people get it?
I don't know if they did or not, to be honest with you. I can find out real quick. Let me make a text.
The problem with this is Dan doesn't do a damn thing in the open.
Dan,
because the other thing is, you know, there's been a resolution that Dan started to bring a resolution forward in June and July, and he said, "Oh no, oh no, don't bring that forward. Let's wait until after the summer." And then they've set on the resolution. Now I want to know, because I'm hearing that this money did not come from ARP. I'm hearing it came from Edit. And if we're talking about the police and the fire, that's 200 people. Well, 200 times 3,000 is $600,000. $600,000 would pay some roads. Imagine those police officers that got that one-time bonus of $3,000. Imagine how great it would be if they didn't have to bend their rims and get all new tires 2 or 3 times a year driving down these Muncie roads.
Public safety, or the only people that got it was the fire department and the police department.
No, I'm aware of that. Yeah, right.
Public Works didn't get it.
What about the one-time raise of a bonus? The one-time bonus last year.
I don't know. Now, I could have seen if he would have waited till November or December after the election to divvy this up, because I know when Dennis left office, I think he give everybody across the board that worked for the city.
But he knew he wasn't running. It didn't matter when he gave it that last year.
Right. Because he wasn't running again.
He wasn't running. He wasn't getting anything from it.
And he waited.
He already got his 5,000.
He waited until he waited until December to give it out. So, you know, it is what it is. But
I say that with all love to Dennis. I have no problem. Bring Dennis back compared to what we got going on.
Oh, hell yeah, in a heartbeat. But you know, it's the timing. It's
everything. That's the thing with everything with Dan.
It's a timing thing. He planned it to where you'll get it 3 weeks before election.
Yeah.
You know, and granted, 90% of the firemen that are on the Muncie Fire Department, I would say 90%. Uncle Joe's Joe Biden, Joan, Ashley, Uncle Joe Biden.
Yeah.
He's the one that gave all that money out. The Republicans just backed it. Just remember, them Democrats love to give that money out. But anyhow, what was I saying? Hell, I don't even know what I was saying.
I think you're saying how many more bonuses for COVID are they going to get?
Yeah, well, the thing about it is he should have waited. Now he's going to have a bunch of pissed off people that he's the one taking credit. Dan's taking credit for this, and he had nothing to do with it. And maybe they should have divvied it up to where all city employees got it. Oh, that's where I was going. 90% of the firemen do not live in the city limits. So 90% of the firemen do not get a vote. But they have family and friends that live in the city
family or
limits.
friends, or they, right.
Yeah.
They know people.
Know people now, people that come to the fire station, hang out, whatever. And there may be some influence there. And I hope there's not. But, at least with Dan, he's stealing money from everybody. He's just telling you he's doing it. So
right here, look at this. Right here. Here we go. I don't know.
We're going to give you $600,000 in money to put into this building up here, but we're going to let you put your signs on our property right down the road. And we're going to give you a big check for campaign donations and stuff.
All right, let's look at this here.
And folks, I want you to know, I'm not against the police department. I'm not against the fire department. If they can get bonuses and the city has it to give to them, those folks have been underpaid for a lot of years. Nightmare with Dan. Yeah, nightmares with Dan.
I get it that people don't like Dan, but anyone's better than Jeff.
Oh no, Dave. David, you're wrong, buddy. I don't know what your fake name is, your real name or anything, but
I'd like to,
no picture.
David, if there's a way, I don't burn people. I wish he would let me know who he really is. I wouldn't burn him. If there's a way that you can let me know who you really are, let me know. I won't burn you. But it
may be Dan. It may be Dan himself.
It's Dan Ridenour. Lori, look, I know you can't see this. I'm going to read this. This is a post I made on October 5th of last year. It says, below is a written account and timeline with pictures of Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour's latest attempt to buy favor, support, and votes from citizens and city employees alike. Monday, September 26, 2022. Picture 1. Press release from the city of Muncie's communication director, Michelle Owen, who, let me tell you, she has dropped off the face of the planet. I thought it was because of the Iron Man. She was just training.
She's recovering.
Oh, now she's recovering from it. No, it's campaign time, and they have circled their wagons, and they've shut down shop, basically. All
here's the
Muncie
thing.
can do now.
She's probably out looking for another job.
Press release from Communications Director Michelle Owen detailing the one-time $1,000 bonus to all full-time City of Muncie employees, police, fire, and elected officials. They were exempt. Okay. So this was just for the AFSCME people. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now it's coming out. All right.
So AFSCME got 1,000 couple years ago.
So here we are, because this is in 2022. So it says the press release said nothing of the federal ARP funds, and it attempted to make this bonus look as if it were possible through some action of Mayor Ridenour's. When I received the press release, I was immediately happy for all city workers who would have received the bonuses. I remembered back in October of 2021 when the police and fire received their $1,000 bonuses. And I thought the situation were great because police and fire get $1,000 bonus. And then now a year later, everyone else is getting $1,000 bonus. Okay, great. We're all on par. All right. That said, I did have a reasonable question. Where is the money from the bonuses coming from? The press release made no mention of that. However, the release did seem like it was made to look like it was coming from the mayor or due to the mayor in some way. And I knew that the council had not approved a large appropriation for bonuses, so I thought the only other place it could be coming from was edit. Since the council had not heard or voted on this, I sent an email asking questions. Picture 2 is an email that I sent Mayor and others in his circle stating that I was not against the bonuses, but I wanted to know where the money would be coming from, and I assumed edit. Tuesday, September 27th. Picture 3 is an email from the mayor to me stating that the bonuses were given to the police and firefighter in October 2021 came from the federal ARP funds, which I knew. At that time, the guidelines only allowed for the funds to be paid out of public safety. However, the guidelines changed in July of 2022, as Mayor Ridenour explained, and that permitted the city to now give these bonuses to the rest of the full-time city employees. This email was a contradiction to the press release from the day before. Absolutely a contradiction. Because there was, in my mind, such a contradiction between the press release that went out to all media because it was posted on the city's website for all to see, and because at least 2 different articles had been published with the details from that press release in the articles for all to read. The information wasn't factually accurate, and I decided I needed to publish the different information that I was made aware of. Therefore, on Tuesday, September 27th, I announced the new correct information on my nightly live video commentary show. On Friday, September 30th, an email sent from the HR director for the city of Muncie to all full-time city employees was received. The email was sent out on behalf of Mayor Ridenour. The email starts off from Mayor Ridenour, and it ends with his name in the signature line. The email was to inform the city's full-time employees of the bonuses that they would be getting. The email does not mention the federal ARP funds again, and all credit for the ability to give the bonuses was given directly to Ridenour himself, completely going against the ability to give such bonuses. Again, completely going against what he had even informed me on the Tuesday before. All right. I was made aware of the email when it was sent to me by several city employees that were happy for the bonuses, but they were upset with the fact that it seemed like the truth was not being told to them or the public. I was sent the same email by different employees on Friday, September 30th. Picture 4 is one of those emails, and they all look the same. That email really confused me because in it, the mayor's administration is really doubling down on the bonuses being available because of Mayor Ridenour being extremely careful with the city's 2022 funds, which is absolute bullshit. Simply put, the bonuses were possible simply because of, in July 2022, the federal government changed the guidelines, and the ARP funds could now be paid and who they could be paid out to. Because of this, I wrote a follow-up email to the mayor on Friday, September 30th, asking him again to explain what was going on. I sent a side-by-side comparison of both emails because the emails had been sent from the city employees, and because of the new email with my new questions being sent to the mayor, I decided to make them public and the public aware of the developments on my nightly show. On October 3rd, email reply to me from Mayor Ridenour, where honestly it seems as if the mayor is attempting to gaslight me. His response more or less explains that he told me the bonuses are coming from the ARP funds, and they are, so there's no issue. He then goes on to say that he has no control over the HR emails and the article, meaning the press releases and the newspaper. Really, you just need to read it. It's really gross. The email sent to me from the City of Muncie's communication director, Michelle Owen, all she does is tell me to believe the mayor's email and that he had just sent me. See his email from picture 5. Because of the mayor's email and the email from the City of Muncie's communications director, and because of how odd and gross it all seemed, I decided to make the public aware on the next nightly show. I'm going to show you those things right here. All right. Here is this. This is the very first one. Police officers and firefighters received a one-time bonus of $1,000 as a thank you for their hard work during a period of understaffing. Due to cautious spending and budgeting, Mayor Ridenour is providing similar bonus to other full-time staff. It's the right thing to do, Ridenour commented. It's the decision was made after careful budgeting and discussions with the deputy mayor and finance department. Well, it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the ARP budget. Here's my email to the city. I'm showing you just as proof. I'm not going to read it. Here's the email back from Dan Ridenour where he's gaslighting me. Here's the email that he sent, that the HR director sent out on his behalf. I have been extremely careful with the city of Muncie's funds during this recession and economy in 2022, which is bullshit. This caution has resulted in enough leeway to allow me to say thank you, which is bullshit. I gave police officers and firefighters a bonus, which is bullshit. I am now thrilled to be able to provide a one-time bonus, which it's not him. I am thrilled to be able to make this happen. Again, it's not him. All right, so there's
And
him telling you. Yeah.
Here's the thing. He could not find a way to give it to his contractors. So he ended up having to give it to the police department. He gave the mail room and they went out of business. He gave to a place down here on Walnut Street. They went out of business. There's been several businesses that received ARP money that went out of business shortly after they received their money. So, and David Long, I am not against the police and firemen getting a bonus. Not at all. Please understand me when I say I am not against it. They have been underpaid for a lot of years. I think the fire department may need another 30 firemen on there because they have so many runs. You know, they said 2 weeks ago at the council meeting that they're, you know, I don't exactly remember how many runs they've had this year, but I think it averaged about 100 or 150 runs a day. And that's a lot of running for those guys that work at them firehouses. And it's mind boggling how many runs they do go on. I live on one block off 12th Street. I hear 3s, 2s, all fire departments, all the fire trucks going out all night long, all day long. I mean, you can go out there right now and I guarantee you'll hear a fire truck or a police car. I mean, it's that busy. So I am not, and please, David, please quit saying that. I am not against the firemen and the policemen getting a bonus.
Why did he say that? Where did he say that?
He said it back up in the comments when you was reading that.
Oh.
He said, why are you so dead set against? He said, I understand you hate Ridenour and everything, but I don't hate Ridenour. I just don't like the way he's doing his politics. Didn't like Dan, and that's fine. And yes, I know the bonuses came from a bad time, but why?
It's got nothing to do. First of all, it's got nothing to do with hating Ridenour, and there's definitely no hate to police or fire.
Trust me, before Ridenour become mayor, even after he was elected, I could still pick up my phone and call him. Still to this day, if I text him, usually he gets back to me unless I'm asking about Southway Plaza or something like that.
That's an actual question.
Yeah, you know, but if I'm saying, hey, what's going on over here, there, and there, and usually he'll answer and
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Okay. David, then let me ask you a question. And maybe this doesn't matter to you, and it's no harm if it doesn't, and I get it. But I'm going to ask you, you understand that legally, I would assume if you're, it sounds like when you first came on, maybe I don't know if you're a police officer or a family member of a police officer. Obviously, we have to do things by way of law. So right. if laws are setting aside where money can come from, if this bonus has to come out of a specific line item and it can't come, there's line item 1 and line item 7, line item Q, line item Apple, okay? Line item bonuses can come out of line item 1 and 7, but they cannot come out of Apple and Square. But we're going to give it to you out of line item Apple. Wink, wink. There's a question. Okay. It's got to be done the right way. It's got to be done the right way.
It's got to be done the right way. Be transparent. Say, hey, I took this money out of ARP money, or I took it out of edit fund.
Oh, I'll know tomorrow where the money came from.
Yeah.
And this mayor, it's not, I hope listen to me. I hope the police, I hope the fire, I hope the AFSCME for all that fact can get every dime out of them. That's what they're supposed to be doing. They're fighting for themselves. I get it. I got no problem with that. But the mayor has to be questioned. The mayor has to be honest about it. He's got to be truthful about it. And if he isn't, then he gets his little Peter smacked. And that's how it is. And I can't help it.
And
That's
David,
how it needs to be.
David, I have a family member on the police department, and I got 2 family members on the fire department.
Yeah, currently in the city of Muncie.
In the city of Muncie.
Yeah.
And after January 1st, I will make a note of it, and I will put up my conflict of interest, even though they are not directly according to the law
Sure.
that I have to do it, but I will do it to be transparent.
Yes, Sarah, Elizabeth, I will also, sure, David.
Yes, David. Hell of a guy. Hell of a good guy. Love him to death. Do anything for that boy. He's a hell of a good guy. He's a hell of a good police officer. And yes. And like I said, I've got family members on the fire department. So I got 2 family members on the fire department right now. So but I will file a conflict of interest and let people know ahead of time that I do have family members on the fire department and the police department that do not live in my household, but I still will put it on file that they are family members.
Well, so that's perception is reality, right? That's what it looks like, one big ass target. That it would seem as though timing wise, it looks like Dan is attempting to really make the police his friends and really make the fire his friends. I mean, I just recently went back through, this is hysterical. I recently went back through council meetings where we were talking about the placement of solar panels on the brownfield in Muncie that was the Chevy plant. And you've got Nathan Sloan getting up and saying, council, the Muncie Police Department backs this plan to put these solar panels up there because police officers have to write reports, and in order to write reports, it takes electricity, and we know that we are not going to see any electricity from these solar panels. But if we're sending electricity somewhere, we're getting electricity. And so we agree that what the mayor wants on these.
But see, here's the thing, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Troy Chester, there's supposed to be a meeting Thursday night for the new ethics committee,
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. When those solar panels was first discussed, the city of Muncie was supposed to profit from those. They were supposed to get most of the electricity. And then at the end, we found out that it was one of them deals like bond.
Right.
Where
But
we didn't get shit out of them.
At the time when Nate Sloan and the fire chief and the police officers and the firemen that got up and testified on behalf of that, by the time they testified, it was already out that it was a bullshit deal.
Right.
But yet they got up there and they followed suit anyways.
Well, they did what they were told.
Because if Dan Ridenour is not the mayor of Muncie, Nate Sloan's not more than likely going to be the chief of police. And so he's doing what his boss is telling him, which is not related to policing.
Right.
It is not related to policing. These stupid ass solar panels have nothing to do with, the price of eggs in China or the price of bullets in your gun or the price of police cars or how many years you wear your vest. And none of that stuff matters.
And here's the thing.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. I don't agree.
Maybe he has, David.
I don't agree that other chief administrations have been good. I think there have been a lot of bad chief administrations. I also am not a big fan of Nate Sloan. I think there were other people that Dan could have went to that would have been. Nate's so much better than other people, but I think that there were other things that Dan could have done that would have been even better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And what people need to realize, hey, that solar field was another lie. Like you've discussed many times before. We were under the impression that the city of Muncie was going to benefit from that. When all actualities, Aaron Clark's first cousin, was the only one going to benefit from it, because when it come down to push to shove, like I said, the city of Muncie was not getting a damn dime off of it, but we spent $110,000 to buy the land.
Yeah.
That we are now stuck with.
Yeah.
Because the council seen the bullshit that was going on and stopped it.
Yeah.
So,
well, and don't forget, not only do you have a $110,000 price tag on the property,
contamination.
now they have to pay the runoff every year.
Yep.
They lost the revenue for property taxes that were coming in every year on that property. I mean, it's an expensive proposition all the way around without having the solar on there. And the solar, didn't we figure out it was going to cost the city like $35,000 a year
to maintain?
Yeah.
So, and that was going to be the profit from the electric they were selling. So the city was going to spend $18 million and have nothing to show for it.
Well, the only one that was going to win on that was Aaron Clark's cousin.
Yeah. So that we don't cause David to kill us or have a coronary, because believe me, brother, I like police. I've been a police officer. Audie was a fireman. Okay.
Go ahead, talk.
So are you going to get me a water, Audie?
He needs smokes. He only had 2 to start. He's smoking both.
I just had to get my other pack of cigarettes. I'm up to
I
number
know.
14.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I done smoked that whole pack, so.
I was trying to get you to give me a water.
Okay, I'll get you water.
Yeah.
I'll bring it right to you.
Let's move on to this point. Okay. I wanted to ask this of the council, and that was this. Everyone listen to this. In 2022, the mayor came before the council asking for a $3.5 million bond that he just had to have. Had to have it. He had to have it because he needed to give $1.2 million to the riverfront project. He needed to give Walnut and the Columbus interchange plan $500,000. He needed to put $600,000 into his parks plan. He needed to give Tillpond $300,000, and he needed to give Southway Plaza deal another $400,000. After 6 months before that, they had voted to do the tax abatement. All right.
I wonder how much of that money he's got left.
Well, hold on here, because I'll tell you. So what that means is that, and what he's doing there with the Southway Plaza is very much like I sell you my home.
Yep.
You come and you buy my home for $100,000, and then I go on down to Florida and live my dream, and then out of the blue I come back 6 months later and I pay 6 months of your mortgage. No one in the world would do that. There's no reason why I would do that. There's no reason why I would do that. Okay. So it didn't make sense to give them the abatement and then give them the $400,000, but Dan had to do this. The resolution 13-22 in May, June, and July of 2022, he needed the $3.5 million because he wanted to pay 1.2 to the riverfront, 500,000 to Walnut, Columbus, 600 to the parks, 300 to Tillpond, and 400,000 to Southway. All right. Now, I have asked a question recently to the city of Muncie, and that is, I want to see all paperwork about us giving Southway Plaza deal through Brick Red Systems or whatever money. And the mayor of Muncie has sent back to me, the HR department through the city of Muncie has said there's nothing about Brick Red Services. So I changed it up And I said, I changed it up and I said, okay, Top Star Realty. Everything I asked before, just plug in Top Star Realty for every place where Brick Red Systems was. Today, he sends me back a response that says, tell Mr. Bilbrey the city still has nothing, blah, 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 blah. So finally, I said, screw it.
Just put down the physical address.
And what I did was I sent an email directly to Dan's phone, and this is what I said to him. So what's happening here? This is what I want. This is what I want to get. What happened to the $400,000 that was earmarked for Southway Plaza? That was $400,000 of the $3.5 million bond that you just had to have. Part of the $3.5 million was going to Riverfront. Part of it was going to Columbus and Walnut. Part of it was going to Tillpond. Part of it was going to Parks Improvement. And the $400,000 was going to Southway. What I'm trying to ask right now is, where did that money go? Who did it go to? From what account? And when? And he refuses to answer that question.
Oh, it's secret. We can't tell you. Just like the restaurant that's going out front. He never would tell anybody what restaurant. Oh, we got a fine restaurant coming to the south side of Muncie. Not going to happen, folks.
Well, yeah, no, there's no.
You got
Well,
this.
so let me ask you a question then, David. Then you've been saying that, because listen, you know for look I can
David,
even.
that's not the
up here.
problem. The problem is not the firehouses. We know they're in bad shape. The problem is $9 million for one
For
firehouse.
one, you should be fighting for $9 million to pay for 2 or 3.
And the factuality of it is, you don't need a broker on these. You go down here to
Any construction company.
You go down here, they just built a brand new
Bid them out. Bid them
Yeah,
out.
bid them out.
like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
You cut the broker out. You don't have to give Aaron Clark's brother or cousin, whatever he is, $2 million to broker the deal. You go down here to down here.
Schroyer
Comfort
Brothers.
Road.
Who
Go down
don't?
here on Mount Comfort Road. They built a fire station.
Yeah.
You go down here and look at the fire station. $6.4 million, $6.7 million for a fire station. I think it's got 3 or 4 bays. It's got state-of-the-art workout equipment that the police officers can come in and use with the firemen. Everything was furnished. All this gym equipment, all the refrigerators, stoves, restaurant equipment, all that stuff in them fire station, in that kitchen, is restaurant equivalent. So everything was furnished. The new computers in the station, everything was new, furnished for $6.7 million, folks.
But David, hold on here, David, because he's being facetious a little bit, saying a mansion. They should be getting a mansion for one firehouse at the cost of $9 million. Keep in mind, when this first started, we were talking about 2 fire stations at the cost of $18 million. $18 million. They literally, with a straight face, Dan Ridenour looked at the city and said, I want to build 2 firehouses for $18 million. I don't know how he had a straight face and could say that. That's insane.
And if they do it with the bot, okay, this Mertz guy is going to get maybe 20% up front. I don't know exact percentage. So on $18 million, that's 18 times 2, $3.6 million up front. And then the city is going to pay his finance company, whoever gets to finance them, with all the interest on there. And with the bot, you're still going to pay the interest just like you're going to pay on a bond or anything. You're still going to pay that percentage of interest. So you're still got, so the $18 million project's going to turn out to be about a $29 million project after you pay the interest and all that. So this guy's getting filthy rich off the city of Muncie because his cousin's on the city council.
Yeah, absolutely. Timing issues. You'll have to go back and watch this on repeat and watch from about the 40-minute mark to this point here. We literally just stopped talking about that. We've been talking about it for like, an hour and 20 minutes.
So, you know, I don't have bid them out. Get 3 bids.
Yeah.
We was told that they had 3 bids on this Mertz guy doing this project. But like you said, the resolution's exactly the same. All they did was changed it from a fire station, or changed it from a solar plant to a fire station. The price is the same, $18 million. They said they bid it out and that he was not the low bidder, but they wanted to use him anyhow. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Show us the paperwork. They won't show the paperwork. They won't tell you where they bid it out at. Anytime you use a broker, and I don't care who the hell it is, anytime you use a broker, you're getting screwed.
Yeah.
Just like a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Chris used to sell used cars or new cars.
I was a new car salesman, but yeah, whatever.
Well, you know what I'm saying. New car salesman. Yeah. If you could have cut Chris out and went directly to Steve Gaddis,
Carvana. Oh yeah.
You'd have got a better deal.
Well, no, you got more. I
I'm
can't
just saying,
do a better
in
deal with
theory.
Steve, but yeah, go ahead.
In theory.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Yes, he also has family on the fire department.
I do. I've got, what'd he say? Barber, you said
you had family on the fire department?
I do. Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. I got two family members on the fire department right now.
David Long, here's my point while you're typing whatever that is.
Kick the middleman out. It's cheaper.
Oh.
Yes. That is, bid it out. 3 bids on it. Get 3 bids on it. Competitive bids, as long as the people come back and you've done your due diligence and checked out the contractors, the general contractors, you should be good to go. Save millions of dollars that way. If they know.
If we compare what the drawings were.
Yeah.
I mean, this is now my expectation.
Yes,
we spend $9 million. This is what we're promised. And that's what we end up with.
Yes. Yeah. The city of Muncie secured developer for $11.8 million in a redevelopment project named City View 2. And the top picture up here is what we were promised. This little Lego set house that it looked like a 4-year-old put together is what we were delivered. And that's how Dan operates. That right there is how Dan operates. So when we see the beautiful drawings that they've put together for the other, and you know, it doesn't listen. The problem is, David, and I respect you for fighting for your family member, and I get it, and I understand that. At the end of the day, I know that
no, David, I am not. And once I get elected, one of the first resolutions or ordinances I'll bring up and I'll put it to vote, and I'll let everybody find out from day one whether these people on the new council will be for or against firehouses. I will put in that we bid out number 6 fire station, get 3 competitive bids, and build them a new fucking fire station.
Yeah.
It's that simple. They need it. It needs it. Bid it out. Do it the right way, though. 100% do it the right way.
Yeah. At the end of the day, to make you sleep a little better, I don't know who's going to win the election, but a philosopher one time, I know he might be a pedo, so I don't really know what to do about him now because it's a little screwed up. But at one time, he wasn't a pedo, I guess. Pete Townsend wrote a lyric, and it's just very, very telling. It's meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Basically, it doesn't matter. They all suck. We're all going to be disappointed one way or another eventually. So I get that you're fighting for your family member who works for the city of Muncie. I get that that family member is in a very dangerous position and that you want that family member to be taken care of and I get it. And there's honor in what you're doing and saying, and I wish you no ill will and no harm. And Audie's the same way. But
Hey,
you gotta understand. Go ahead.
I do not, I repeat, I do not talk to my family members on the fire department and on the police department about political shit. Don't do it. It's not good. That way somebody can't come back and say, well, you're so-and-so's on the fire department and they're feeding you information. No, they're not. I will not ask for that information. I will not put their job in jeopardy to get information that they have. I won't do it. I'd as soon as go to the chief or Jason Chafin or somebody like that when it comes back and says, hey, you got this information, I'll say, I got it from this person, and that person can verify it, because I don't want to be called a liar. I won't be called a liar.
Right.
So I don't go to my family members and say, hey, how bad are this? How bad is that? You know, the fire stations. Look, they're saying station number 6 that is in McCullough Park was a house converted to a fire station. That is not true, folks. That fire station was built in 1960 for a fire station on city property that was a park that had nothing there to begin with and has been a park since 1865. So there was never nothing there. They built that in 1960 for a fire station. So misleading people and saying, this was a old house that was converted to a fire station. That's misleading. That's not right. They don't need to do that.
So that's a weird place for there to be just a house.
Right. Well, the park was put in way before the city went.
Yeah, right. This is my thing. This is my thing.
One fire station. You got to start one at a time.
Well, yeah. This is my thing, David. Ridenour ran for 2 years for mayor. He declared his candidacy in the 18th of August 2018, and I was on board for it. I was on Team Ridenour. I interviewed him 3 times. I pushed him hard. I campaigned for him. I wanted him to win. I was all for him. I loved what he was doing. He sold me on a bill of goods. The thing is, I then turned around. I used my platform to tell the masses, Ridenour's the man. Ridenour's the man. Ridenour's the man. He's going to do it. He's going to improve communication. He's going to improve transparency. He's going to improve accountability. He's going to slow government down. He's going to improve relationships between the city and the county. He's going to put the best people in places. We need to elect Ridenour. We got him elected, and 2 weeks after the election, he started to do shit the wrong way. Before he even got elected, before he even stepped foot in the office, still in November, before Turkey Day, he started doing shit the wrong way. And now, 4 years after Ridenour, I can look and say, number one, did he improve communication? No. Communication in the city of Muncie is more screwed up now than it has ever been. Okay? Did he improve accountability? No. He won't be held accountable. You can't hold him accountable. That man hasn't been at a city council meeting in 6 months or more.
Chris, it's been longer than that. I think the last council meeting he was at the $3.5 million bond that he got.
Yeah. Maybe last year.
Because they voted it down to begin with, and then they turned around and reopened it.
Yeah.
And voted it again, and he realizes, hey, I'm gonna just circumvent the council. I don't need that.
And he said he would improve transparency. He's not done that. said he would slow government down. He's sped government up faster than anything I can imagine. He said he'd improve relationship between the city and the county. The relationships are worse than they've ever been. And he said he'd put the best people in places. And so far, 14 or 17 department heads have been replaced or let go or fired or whatever. And 14 of them left within the first year and a half. So
David, the reason Jeff, is that what he said? There's a reason he's not endorsed by the FOP and fire.
Well, now back up. I want to know I want to know real quick before you say that, Audie. What reason do you say, David? Why? What? Give us your reason. Obviously, you're protected here. You've got anonymity. Nobody knows who you are. He was like this all the way. He was like this all the time. Hey, book lady. This is how Dan is. He didn't change. This is how he was. So with you under the cover of darkness, tell us, David. I'm interested. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. Tell me what the reason. Tell me what your fear is. What your fear is.
Why do you think Jeff was not endorsed by the fire department and police department? I guess is the question that I'd like to ask him.
I'm interested in that. And then after that, I got to get to this last part. I got to get to this last thing for Josh Kimbrell and show you something that's just absolutely disgusting happened in Winchester. It's mind-boggling. So, a city councilwoman who has been gone for the last 8 months.
Showed up?
You think it's bad that Dan's not been there? Imagine what we would do if one of the council members just wouldn't show up for 8 months and then just all of a sudden showed up and still running for re-election.
Chris, I'm going to go on your political spotlight right now. Once again, while we're waiting on David.
Yeah.
Once I am elected, January or February, I will put an ordinance in requesting that the Muncie Fire Department receive at least one new fire station this year, 2024.
Yeah.
Oh no. No.
Why do you have that fear?
David, why do you have that fear?
What's that fear based on? Training is good. The police need more training. The firemen need more training that they're not cheating at. And
exactly, they need the training.
They need all training.
And they need to have an income that we're not training them and sending them to another department.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And you know what? If Jeff would cut back, if Jeff would try to cut back on, I would beat up his ass.
I'll give you my word. I'll give you my word right now. No, he wouldn't cut back on their budgets. No.
Well, let me tell you something, David. If this, I can get, I don't know. I don't know how long you've been. I don't know how long you've been.
No, police staffing. That's not true, David. When Ridenour came into office, Deegan cut back 5 police officers. So they went from 110 police officers to 105 police officers. That was the FOP, the union, requesting the cutback so they could get a raise. Now that the new contracts came out, they're adding 2 or 3 new police officers in this contract. So they're back up to 107 police officers.
They're still under their normal 110.
Huh?
They're still under the 110 level that they were at years ago.
But they cut back.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Here's the thing. Deegan gave up 5 and got some back so they could get a pay raise.
Yes.
Okay. They're not going to cut back on the police stations. You're getting that wrong with McShirley. McShirley's the one that done that. She was the Republican that done that. Okay.
Oh no, but David, here's the thing though. That's
That's
here's the thing.
misleading.
That's because they had people on retirement. They had people who was off. Keep in mind, they had like 4 or 5 that had beat people's brains in while they were handcuffed and all that. They had to deal with all of that stuff and get them out of there so they could hire for those positions.
And remember,
That
the
had
other night at the council meeting, I asked them how many staffing they had.
Yeah.
Because Dan's running around saying, "Oh, I hired 18 new police officers."
Dan did not hire 18.
That's just to fill the positions that was empty.
Yeah.
They've got 3 people on administrative leave right now that are not being paid. I asked that question the other night at the council meeting. So they're within 3 people of being back to capacity. The thing about it is they've got more people retiring. Most of these people are aging out and they're getting to the retirement age. And it's hard, just like the Deegan said up there the other day, it's hard to recruit new police officers because people don't want to do it anymore because of the way changes have came across and everything, and police are getting a bad rap. So no,
David, I would like to ask you a favor. And I don't want you to think, I know it feels like we're beating up on you, and we are.
I mean, just ask Nate Sloan.
You're obviously commenting on Facebook. So a lot of people can't see. There, folks that are in YouTube, we got somebody that's commenting on Facebook. That's David, and so a lot of this stuff you can't see. I would like to ask you if you would be willing, maybe you won't be, to send me a message on Messenger, and I would like to talk with you even after the election. And I'll tell you, I'm going to give you my word. If Robinson is elected, and if that starts happening, I'll put it to you like this, David. First of all, I would love to have Ridenour on, and I would like to ask Ridenour these questions, and I'd like Ridenour to be able to promise what he will and what he won't do, and I would like Ridenour to promise that he will, keep all of this going for public safety. Ridenour won't come on. He will not interview.
Nope.
I've asked Robinson. Robinson will be on Wednesday. He'll be on Wednesday at 9 p.m. I would challenge you to come back here, and I would challenge you, number one, to watch that interview. But more importantly than that, I would challenge you to come back here and ask these questions. Ask these questions of Ridenour. Kate will put them up on the screen just like that. Like you see there, she just put up, yes, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, I will. You come right back here and you ask him, and I'll make sure he answers these questions. And I tell Wednesday night at 9 p.m.
Here's
tell
an idea.
all your friends.
Here's an idea. I know you're not going to burn him or anything. Maybe he can send you a message for some of the questions that he wants to
That's
ask.
what I'm saying. If he sends me with David Long,
But
that's obviously fake.
But don't give the information to Jeff before.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. If you want to send me any of your questions. If you have any questions, send me a 5 but I'll try my best. Okay. Well, here's the deal then. So here's the deal. If you're working, then you definitely need to send me your questions ahead of time. I will ask those questions. You can send them to Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Okay. No issue, no harm, no foul. And you can send it from David Long. It's obviously a profile you've created, and I won't know who you are. And I will ask those questions. And if the crazy thing happens, and if Jeff is elected, and if Jeff starts doing those things, I give you my word, I will be up his ass. I'll ask him those questions, and I'll be the first person in line fighting him with you.
No, you won't. No, you won't. I will be. When I get elected, I will make sure that he does not do that.
Yeah.
And if I'm not elected, I'll be up at that podium making sure that he does not do that.
Oh, no. Hey, book lady, he won't. Ridenour is. Here's the funny thing. I don't know. He says he's not done that. I will try to get that out of him Wednesday.
David, no, he does
yeah.
not.
Yeah, he says he doesn't.
No, you've heard the rumors that what's his name, Walker? No, that's not been discussed.
I sure hope not. I sure hope that's not the case.
You know, so hopefully he does it the right way.
Yeah.
Take 3 bids.
Hey, book lady. In 2019, the Democrats were told not to interview with me, and the Republicans were beating down my door. I interviewed Ridenour 3 times in 2019. Even some of the Democrats that were told not to interviewed with me, like Audie and Sarah, she who shall not be named. She interviewed with me. Several other ones interviewed as well. Most of them actually did.
Yeah.
Now that the Republicans are in power, the Republicans are being told not to interview with me. They're like chicken shits. So no, he's not going to interview with me. The Democrats are all interviewing, and it just is what it is. I was on Team Ridenour for 2 years. I pushed him, but he changed. So it is what it is. Okay. 9 p.m. Eastern. Jeff Robinson will be right here at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. So, book lady, I think you asked about Jeff. Jeff will be on Wednesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Come back. We got some more great content tomorrow. But Jeff will be here tomorrow on Wednesday, or Jeff will be here Wednesday at 9 p.m. Jeff will be here.
Hey, David, I want to give you my personal phone number. Kate, will you put my personal phone number up there so everybody can see it? Like most of them don't know what it is anyhow. 765-744-0013. David, if you want to call me privately,
he can send you a Facebook.
One more time, Audie.
765-744-0013. I would really like to discuss this with you because I think you've been given some bad information, and I'll give you the truth, and you can verify my truth with the chief of police, with the chief of the fire department. Chris, you should get 10 years for pushing Dan like meth.
Oh shit! Absolutely.
But like I said, I don't have to lie to keep friends. I'm the way I am. I'll answer anything I can. If I can't, if I can't give you the answer right now, I'll get the answer. I'll call. Like I said, I've been into it with Jason Chafin. But if I need something, need to know something, if I need to know something, I'll call him and say, "Hey, Jason, tell me," or I'll text him.
Hey,
we like
David,
it, David. We like
David Long. David Long, send me a Facebook Messenger to Kristopher H. Bilbrey with your fake name. The only thing I would like to ask you to do, so the majority of the people here watching can see your comments, is you should make a fake YouTube page. Don't watch me on Facebook. Watch me on YouTube. Go and make a fake YouTube name. David Long on YouTube.
There.
What?
Have him put a picture on there too.
Yeah, a fake picture. Make a fake picture and watch it on YouTube. That way, when you're commenting, the majority of the people can also see. And subscribe. It's free.
Yep, subscribe. It's free.
I'm whoring out now. That's what's happening. Okay.
Don't cost you a dime.
No, it doesn't cost you a dime. You get my loving for free and my hating. Okay, so I got to move on to this deal with. Are you leaving or are you staying?
Either way, it doesn't matter. I'll shut up.
I mean, you can stay. It don't matter to me either way.
Sure, I will.
Let me see if.
So what Josh do today?
Okay, well.
Hey, Chris, I did get my ad set up on Facebook finally.
You did?
I want to holler out to Mecca. She did a hell of a job.
Who did?
Her name's Mecca. She did a hell of a job getting me set up on Facebook.
Who's that?
And it took forever. And we had to verify my phone number 10 times. We had to verify my email 10 times.
They don't have that kind of patience.
We had, yeah. And that's what I told her earlier. I said, just forget it. And she finally got it pushed through and had to verify my accounts and everything, you know. And she finally got it to go through. So you should start seeing ads. And I need to get with you and Josh. Maybe get Josh to come over one day this evening that I ain't too busy, and we could do a video.
A video?
And get it put out for Facebook land, because my political account is up and running on Facebook now.
Okay. I can dig that. We can figure something out.
Did you hear me, Kimbrell? Josh, did you hear me?
He's on.
Is he on here?
I think he is. Yeah, he's at least watching. I don't know if he's coming or not.
Josh,
okay,
so
here's the deal.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, no, I don't want to put that up there yet. I want to do this. So I want to show this to you. People.
Hell, he may have fell asleep.
Yeah, he texted me. He's like, I want to see your opinion. Are you coming on here or are you just watching?
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Joshua.
Oh, he's bitching out. He said you and Audie do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can leave and he can come on if he wants.
You guys are freaks. I don't think it matters either way. All right, I want everybody to look at this real quick. It's going to take a second for it to load. Okay, you see this? You see this picture here? This is...
Is she back?
Muncie. This is Winchester City Council. This is from the back of the room. There's 5 city council people, but this picture only shows 3 of them. So this person right here is Lisa Friend. All right. Oh, damn it. We did have that one ad, but I think I just deleted it by accident. Anyways, here's all that matters. It don't matter. Here's the deal. This woman is elected to District 4 in Winchester. Winchester's a lot like Muncie. There's only less than 5,000 people in Winchester. This woman is elected to District 4 in Winchester, and they only have 5 counselors. Each counselor is very important, very needed. It's a very small, tight-knit community. You're supposed to be able to reach out to these people, see them when you go to the ball game. I used to say the good thing about Winchester is you saw everybody in town, every place you go, all day, every day. You go to McDonald's, everybody's there. You go to Walmart, everybody's there. You go to the ball game at school, everybody's there. It's just how it is. It's living... big time in a small town. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Well, this woman, who's just absolutely detestable as a public servant, disgusting, obnoxious, horrid, a lot of other really, really mean things that I should say, but I won't, decided that she is important enough or special enough or deserving enough to still be a Winchester City Councilor, but to move all the way to Mudsuck, South Montana, some backwoods, no nonsense, nowhere ever even heard of.
I've heard of Ajax Mountain in Montana.
Well, yeah, she's not there. She's at Mudsuck, South Montana. I don't know. That's a city and a state anyone's ever heard of before, but someplace like that. Boot sniff, panty lick. I don't know. Someplace, some out of the way, nowhereville. It's definitely not been annexed into the Winchester city. It's definitely not in District 4 Winchester.
Boot cut, Montana?
Boot cut?
Yeah.
I keep saying butt fuck, but I know that's wrong.
Boob cut?
Yeah. I say Mudsuck. And I'm not sure South Montana is even a state, but
Boot cut.
boot cut. Okay. So
Okay.
she moved all the way from there. Okay. To there from Winchester. All right. And so,
Did she sell her house in Winchester?
well, so she got married and she left her husband in the house and she moved. But here's the thing. She got a job at the newspaper and she did an article saying, you know, I'm glad to be at my new home, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So she is, you know, it is what it is. She moved there and she's been gone for 6 or 8 months. Okay. Here's what we've got. Here's the map. I'm going to show you just how far away we're talking. Okay. As soon as this thing stops acting stupid. Citizen Thief, Montana.
Citizen Thief, Montana.
Okay. Look at this. This is insane. This is poor old Winchester, Indiana. And this is Boot Cut, Montana. Whatever. Maybe I didn't spell it right. Well, anywho.
Let's just Google this.
That's how far
It's
away
Cut
she is.
Bank.
What?
Bank, Montana.
What is it?
Cut Bank.
Cut Bank,
Cut
C-U-T?
Bank. Yes.
Yes.
Is that one word? Or
There's
two
no N in that, just to clarify.
words?
Cut
No,
Bank.
Are you saying cunt?
Yes.
I use that word for a lot of things, but this is just no N. Just cut.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry. I take that back. Cut.
Shut up.
Correct.
This is after hours show.
Sorry, I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Shut up. The only thing worse is apologizing. 27 hours takes to get there. Takes her 27 hours to get there. I hate her for this. This is disgusting. I don't, you know, there's been a lot of people do a lot of stuff to me, and this doesn't even affect-
1,711.8 miles.
I hate her for this. This is disgusting. So all the way from poor old Winchester to Cut Bank, Montana. I mean, she's practically a Canuck.
She's a Canuck.
Okay.
She's a Canuck.
She drags herself back in to the Winchester City Council meeting today after 7.5, 8 months of being gone. That's worse than her just leaving. Okay. That's worse than her just leaving. She's received a paycheck every 2 weeks from the city of Winchester. They've direct deposited it right into her account. She's cleared every one of them, checked every one of them, spent those money on her big ass hair and everything. Okay, big hair don't care, apparently. It's to a whole nother level.
She don't work at the newspaper anymore?
No, she does not in Winchester. She works at the newspaper in Cut Bank, Montana.
Kate said that she does no longer work there.
So we're hearing that she doesn't work there anymore either.
Oh, so
That
now
sounds-
she might be coming back then.
Hey, wait a minute. That sounds like Mr. Rogers one time, didn't it? Didn't he move to Florida to
Yeah, and then move back and move back.
Move
So
back.
That's
so
a
wait.
really good question, Elizabeth. And don't forget, I think she got insurance from the city too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she did.
Elizabeth because she fell under the Republican ticket?
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is disgusting. It's disgusting. So wait a minute. No. Come back up here, Kate. So you're hearing that she doesn't work at the bank, at the newspaper anymore?
Yeah, I heard that from someone. It was in a message group that she
A
doesn't
friend of a
work there
friend.
anymore.
So
Heard from a
she-
friend.
Okay.
You know when she left, she did the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be back. Yeah, right.
She's back.
Actually, here in Indiana, the council can vote to remove you.
They can't. The council can vote to remove her. They absolutely could do that. They've
But they
not.
didn't have the backbone to.
They didn't know. They didn't know. The council doesn't know. It's asked from a hole in the ground. The people of, I'm telling you.
You meant she doesn't work in Winchester? Well, the interesting thing is that I don't see her listed as a publisher on their website.
No, stop.
No,
I called. She does not work for 1,000%. She does not work for Winchester.
No.
I called.
No, we know that.
Tomorrow,
now we need to call
I'll
Montana.
boot cut. I didn't know that. Now I'm hearing something new. I'll call there tomorrow and find out. I'll let you know, Joshua. I will let you know.
I'm sorry. I was confused by the messages
What?
that she doesn't work there anymore.
So,
I thought they meant Montana, not Winchester.
does she-
I know
does
she
she
doesn't
work
work
in-
in Winchester.
does she work in Montana?
Well, at the paper, she had that wonderful write-up she wrote
No,
about
I know.
herself
But were
taking the
you
job.
saying you heard she doesn't work in Montana, or were you talking about Winchester?
No, I thought they were talking about Montana, but apparently they were talking about Winchester.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't
So
know,
she-
but
she
it's
might
still
still
freaking
work at
confusing.
I'll call tomorrow and find out. I know she does not work in Winchester. She's not worked in Winchester since she moved back there. Since she moved
No, and
away.
she left in March.
Yeah, she
She's
left
been
in
gone
March.
8 months.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently Eric heard a rumor
Okay.
that the legal counsel advised the city council not to remove her. That's a great idea.
Now listen, Josh says, I meant how we treated her tonight. She doesn't work for us. So she walked back into this council room kind of like, she's like, hey, I left a sandwich in the fridge. Does anybody know where it's at? And they're like, bitch, we ain't seen you in 8 months. I didn't even know that was you. All right.
Well, and I guess from the sounds of things, it sounded like she tried to assert her authority.
The previous video, you wouldn't be able to watch the previous video unless this one's over. Maybe you could have rewound. I don't know.
Mhm.
Anywho, we're almost done, so you'll be able to just go back and watch it. So here we go.
I'm going away again, dear.
All right, yeah, that's fine. So here we go. They did not give her a warm welcome coming back into this meeting. But
Who are
Josh, the citizens of Winchester,
Okay.
not just Josh, not just like I wasn't there, obviously.
Not
but
the fellow council members, just the citizens.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. Josh has a whole video of this.
Okay, I'll
If
watch it.
you're interested in watching the whole video, it will be up at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. He's already got it uploading, and you'll be able to catch it on Civic Duty on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@ Civic Duty WC. Check there tomorrow morning at 7. But Annie, it is 1,785 miles from Winchester to Cutbank, Montana. All right. So over last weekend, Winchester had their annual fall festival, and they call it Mardi Gras for some unknown reason. I don't know why they call it Mardi Gras. It's stupid. Winchester's so prudish. It's nothing like Mardi Gras. It's fall. It's the fall festival. I wish they'd call it Winchester's Fall Festival, but it's Mardi Gras. People had seen her there, and the Republican tent was actually passing out her palm cards from one election ago. And I actually texted her and said, hey, I got to ask you about some just crazy, shameless bullshit. Are you passing out campaign litter? Are you back in Winchester seriously campaigning? And she's like, sounds like you need some new sources. And I'm like, no, the sources I'm hearing, several people said they saw you there. And she's like, well, I was there, but I wasn't campaigning. And I was like, I don't know what's worse. The fact that you are an elected official in Winchester who just up and moves away, who continues to get a check, not sit on the council, live 1,700 miles away, come back, still on the ballot, hoping to get elected for next year. knowing you live in Boot Cut, Montana, and you're not campaigning because you just think you got it, or you are. I don't know which is worse. It's all bad. Okay. Now, keep in mind, in the state of Indiana, an elected official, doesn't matter if you're a judge, doesn't matter if you're a sheriff, or you're the mayor, or you're the councilman, or you're the governor, or you're a state representative. You only have to work 1 day a year. If you go in and you put in 1 day, you can do exactly like what she's doing and screw off to someplace else and take your check. It's up to the citizens to boot your ass out at the next election.
Very much so.
So we have an election coming up here in just a few days, a few weeks.
Yes.
District 4 has the option to elect Lesia Teal. Lesia Friend is her name. She got married and she goes by Teal now, which sucks because I always say Winchester needs to unfriend the city council. That's a perfect election campaign. They need to unfriend the city council. They can vote for my dear, dear, dear friend, Joan Ashley, or they can vote for Lydia Carpenter. Now, I got no problem with either one of these ladies, and either one of these ladies would be fantastic. Lydia Carpenter, I wish she was running for anything else. I wish she was running for clerk. Joan Ashley is like my ride or die, my main Winchester person. I love Joan. And I'm backing Joan. I don't have a problem with Lydia. I wish I could support Lydia in anything else. If Lydia wins, Winchester will be in good hands. But Joan is who I want to win.
Lydia, I am torn between Joan and Lydia. Lydia's running as a libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia won my heart when she stood up and she told Bob to go fuck himself in a council meeting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That was the thing of beauty.
Absolutely.
And it just lets me know that she will stand her ground and pull her guns if she needs to.
Joan would go get arrested with me in Winchester if I needed.
This is true.
Joan was there the night that I was arrested. She was arguing. She stood up and started arguing more. She was trying to get them to arrest her. And so Joan is my ride or die. Josh, I know Josh feels the same way. And it's no disrespect to Lydia. And I like Lydia, and I got no problems with Lydia. I wish that she could run for something else. I hate that they're double running.
I
know. That's why I said I'm really torn.
Yeah.
I just hate that if they split the ticket like that for 3 people, then that lady there will be reassured.
Listen.
If
Winchester reelects her,
she's running as an L. To be fair,
yeah,
the likelihood of her pulling a lot of votes is not good. And if she pulls votes, it will be from the R, not from the A.
It won't be from Joan. Good. So it would be like Lydia, and so it could be good. Could be good for my main girl, because So here's the thing, though.
Probably quite a few, but never in a council meeting to his face.
You need to.
Yeah.
I try to behave in public.
Good. All right, so
I represent the party, so
your
I have
husband
to be in public.
Yeah, your husband will be out of jail.
Josh sent me this 8-minute clip that we got to watch, and this is just a little teaser for what you're going to see tomorrow. Okay, so here's the tease, and we will let you guys watch this, and then you guys will have to watch where this is going to be. This is what we're going to go out on here tonight. We'll play it and then get a little bit of commentary, and then you guys will have to watch the rest.
Chris, before this is all over with, I got to bring up one more thing once you're done. So.
Oh yeah. That's fine. Okay, here we go.
Is that Ben Franklin sitting there? Buddy, get a hat.
Yeah.
On my way to church Sunday morning, boy, it was just clean as could be. So really good, commendable to everybody who did that. Thanks.
Jim, citizens' concerns, unless you guys got anything else?
Okay, 3 minutes. Citizens' concerns.
My name is Joshua Kimbrell. I live at 238 East Franklin. I am running for city council at large here in the city.
Boop.
Has he got his shirt on?
Yep.
Wow. We ain't allowed to do that at the council meeting.
No. I found this out. You aren't.
We we can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't kick you out. That's your First Amendment right, man. They can't make you turn that off. That you can't on election day inside a polling place.
Right.
But
They made me take my sticker off tonight.
oh, that's a load of crap.
Talked before about this, and I was really, really disgusted the way you guys handled this. So today we're going to address this. Brought a copy for each of you guys. This is the police report that didn't exist. Sorry, Lisa, I didn't think you were going to be here. It's good to see you back.
I knew I would get it.
Last I checked, you used to represent us. You used to live in Winchester, but that's for a different time, different subject. But what you guys have here in front of you is the police report that didn't exist. I sat here and begged you guys to listen. My daughter was accosted, harassed, and threatened with disgusting sexual acts threatened upon her. The police department, as you see, took the report, but did nothing with it. I spoke with Michael Burke. I sat here with you guys, and if you look at the date says 7/20/2021. That's the pool incident. Now, what you guys don't have is the back narrative here. It says on 7/20/21, I met with Danielle Keitlinger, my wife, at the station. This report was taken by former Chief John Reed. She wished to report an incident involving a 23-year-old man, Dylan McAbee. She stated McAbee had been making lewd comments to her 13-year-old daughter. The incident happened at the city pool and was reported to the lifeguard at the time. McAbee was then removed from the pool. Keitlinger advised that McAbee was now threatening her 15-year-old son outside of the pool, who stood up for his sister. Now, my daughter did the right thing. She came home to her parents. She told us about the situation. We did the right thing. We took it to the police department to handle it because this is a crime. Multiple crimes in that incident. That report, I was told, disappeared. Didn't exist. Mike, you looked it up in the computer. Is it in your guys' log in system? Now, there was a written statement by my wife attached with this, getting into the details of what was threatened to my 13-year-old daughter. That report is no longer attached to the report. Is that correct, Mike? The statement does not exist.
That's
now, I
weird.
had Mike look it up to see what happened to this report. He looked up some other ones too by the same grown man who's accosting other kids at the park here in our city. None of them were submitted to the prosecutor. There was a problem with our police department where they were judge and jury what was getting sent to the prosecutor. Now, Mike, is that how it's usually supposed to work when there's an alleged crime like that? No, that file is supposed to be sent up to the prosecutor. Then the prosecutor decides what to do with it after that point. That was not happening here.
That is
Then it
nuts.
took place again. Again, it took place. And it took place in May, a couple months later. I want to read this narrative to you guys so you guys can understand where this frustration has come from and why I started coming here and asking for your guys' help, but it fell on deaf ears. You guys got too involved in your feelings to hear the criticism or what was going on. Now, this chief apologized to me and said, I feel we have failed you. That's not his apology to give. The former deputy or the former chief has apologized to me since then. I have not received an apology from you guys at all.
And you
When
won't.
I was talking about the situation, trying to talk about it, and I was blocked at the door, Lisa, if you remember correctly, your statement was, did you get in? Instead of, did your daughter get justice? That's where the disconnect is. Did you get in? Well, Lisa, it's glad to see that you did get in and make it back here. But this statement here, on the above date and time, I, Officer Joe Sheets was dispatched to Beeson Park on someone screaming. Upon arrival, I was met by 23-year-old Dylan McAbee. McAbee stated that he was sitting at a picnic table on his phone. He stated that when he was sitting there, some younger kids came up and sat across from him. Younger kids, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, at our park. Sat across from him, and they were looking at their phones and laughing and smirking. McAbee stated that he asked them to stop, but they continued to laugh and smirk. 13-year-old kids at a park on their phone laughing and
This
smirking.
guy's a freak, man.
Grown man is yelling at them to stop. McAbee was asked if he thought it was directed towards him, and he stated yes. McAbee stated that this continued and made him angry, and he started yelling at those kids. He stated that he told the kids he was going to bash their heads in. The only person around was Justin Myers mowing grass, didn't hear nothing. On the same date as above, I responded to the Winchester Police Department for a request to speak. Upon arriving, Officer Joe Sheets was met by Joshua Kimbrell and his daughter, Kiara Lawrence, who now is 14. Juvenile will be KL in the rest of the report, and she was approached by other kids at the park that they stated that there was a grown man that was threatening them, that he was going to bash their heads in. This goes on. Then it states here that, yes, Dylan was banned at the pool. My daughter was afraid. Then it goes on even further to the kid that was recording the video, because this was recorded. The kid deleted one of the videos because he was afraid that his mom would find it. And this kid would not be allowed to go to our parks alone anymore because his mom was in fear. You all have children. What would you have done? I did the right thing. I went to the police. When the ball was dropped, who do you go to next? City Council. I came here. I presented it to you guys. You guys ignored me. After yelling, after coming to all these meetings and all this stuff, I was still ignored. I was shunned. There were rules passed that says we can't criticize you guys. Well, guess what? You earned that criticism. You owe an apology not to me, not to my wife, but to my daughter, whose justice was never served. I found this police report. I have it. It's just past the statute of limitations, so this man will not pay for what he has said and done. It said he's going to court for intimidation. But also, I have other police reports right here. The same grown man is at our parks, accosting juveniles, threatening them.
These are just other people that he's doing this to.
There's so many reports right here that I've been presenting to you guys. And I've been ignored. I've been ridiculed. I've had criminal trespass. I've had all types of stuff. Protection orders. Just for trying to defend my daughter and make you listen. But who do you go to when the council drops the ball? You go to the people. You get them elected out of office. You guys sit in this seat here. It means something. It really does. Maybe not to you guys, but it means something to other people. What it's supposed to mean to you is that you guys come in here and do your...
Ah!
Nah, you gotta watch at 7 o'clock in the morning.
You gotta watch the rest in the morning to see what happens. That's Josh's little 8-minute clip there. And apparently, if you watch the whole thing, because you'll be able to hear the rest of Josh's speech, you'll be able to hear other great moments, such as Meeksy Cat, the attorney. Hey, Meeks, I don't have a protective order issued against me. I can call you Meeksy Cat, you little pussy, as much as I want. You can hear him get rude with citizens.
Hey, Josh, listen to me. You want to go sit in a park and sit on a bench and laugh at each other on their phones? Give me a call sometime. We'll go up there.
you and Audie guys, you and Audie can go laugh and sit and laugh at Dylan McAbee. Dude, listen, I went to court with him the other day. So he's got this thing's going to court, and it's got a special judge. It's in Delaware County. And I went into court with him, and I was like, where's the guy? And Josh was like, he's over my shoulder. And I was like, no, he's not. That dude's like an old man sitting there with his like wife. He was like, no, that's him and that's his mom. And I was like, no, that guy back sitting over there is like 50 years old. He's like, no, that's him. I was like, how old is he? He's like, he's 23. I said, there's no way. That dude is easily 47. This guy's a freak, man.
Wow.
He's interesting. He's definitely interesting. I can see why kids would be afraid of him. I can see why kids would be intimidated, and they keep playing off like he's got some kind of mental disability. He's not like mentally incapacitated.
Here's the thing. He's not that mentally.
No.
Because He's only doing it to 12 and 13 and 14.
Yeah.
He's not
Right.
doing it to grown ass men and grown ass women that'll put him in his place right there.
Right.
So,
He's not. He maybe was like dyslexic in high school. He probably didn't finish high school, something like that. He's not. He's perfectly fine. He knows right from wrong, and he knows what he should and shouldn't be doing. He is a sick piece of shit, and
Sounds like
I
it.
applaud. Look, for all the crazy with Josh and all the good or bad or whatever people want to say, I applaud Josh, what Josh is doing. As a father, Josh is doing the right thing. Josh and Danielle have done the right thing, and it's disgusting what's happening in this situation.
Give me a call, Josh. We'll go up there Sunday and we'll do a video for me and we'll see what's going on.
Hanging out at the park, just a whole bunch of creeps. This is how Trailer Park Boys starts. I'm telling you.
Okay, Chris, one more thing before we get off here.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, this is going back to Muncie now, and I'm sorry that we may have lost a few Muncie people or whatever. But
No, we're still here. We're good.
It was brought up about the fire stations.
Huh?
And Miss Rose Selvey throwed a hissy fit because she wanted to know more about it and they wanted to vote on it. And it's bullshit that they didn't vote on it and this and that and everything else that they tabled it. Miss Selvey is in charge of a committee. Okay. She has had 2 weeks to have a special meeting on this that she is in charge of, and she's not done it. Here's the thing. Had Roe have had a meeting on this to let people know what was going on, she could have pulled that off the table tonight in the council meeting and voted on it to pass them fire stations. Pass that fire. And that's what people need to understand. They're blowing this smoke up your asses, but yet Miss Selvey had the power to have a meeting that she still has not had. And now that there's not another council meeting until after the election, I would just about bet $5 on it that she's not going to have one of them meetings.
Oh, no.
But yet she threw up her. Oh,
it's politics. It's politics.
But they're the ones hollering.
They're doing the same thing. Yeah.
Let's leave the politics out of it. They're the ones doing the politics, guys.
I made a post last night. I put a post online. I put a post online last night that said, it was either last night or first thing this morning, one or the other. But I said, let me find out.
My question is this the type of council person you want represent you on the Muncie City Council?
Right.
If I tell you I'm going to do something, I will do it.
Yep.
100%. Chris, you've known me 4.5 years now.
Yep.
If I've told you I was going to do something, I've done it. Have I not?
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Councilor Rose Selvey, when are you calling for a Public Works Committee meeting so the council can get up to speed on the firehouse situation? You, Councilor Aaron Clark, and Mayor Dan Ridenour were all tripping over yourselves to say that the 5 of your fellow councilors that wanted more information before approving $9 million to be given to Aaron Clark's cousin for one firehouse were playing politics. My question is, why has it now been 14 days since the council meeting and we have still not had the committee meeting? I mean, if this was really as big a deal as Aaron, Dan, and you were making it out to be, then why not have the committee meeting yet? When will the meeting be called? And then for the record, I shared this little meme that I made. Row your boat back to the private sector.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
Rose doing everything she can to get back in good graces with the Republican Party.
Absolutely.
And she pulled this little stunt at the council meeting for political reasons. And I'm not that way. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I would have been on the council and I wanted to know more information, maybe Dan came to her and said, "You don't need to know anything else. This is all we need to put out there. No. Don't look at the lines. Don't look at the amount of money on the lines," like that gentleman told us at the council meeting 2 weeks ago. Don't look at the amount on the lines. That ain't no big deal.
Yeah, you don't need to see that.
You don't need to see
right.
that.
He said, "Don't look."
don't look at the line items.
He said it don't matter. It don't matter what those are. Those don't matter. Just look at the bottom line.
Yeah. So, but if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do everything I can to have it as soon as possible. And as your city councilman at large for the city of Muncie folks, I will do that. Whether I'm for it or against it, whatever it is, if the residents of Muncie wants it brought to the council and wants a special meeting, I'll do everything in my power to make it happen. I promise you that.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to push it under the rug like these, like Miss Selvey has done and like Dan's doing, you know, just sweep it under the rug. It'll be all right. They'll forget it in a couple days. Everybody loses interest. And then I'll bring it back up again in 6 months and they'll vote for it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. 6 months. Yeah.
Because we won't have to read the whole ordinance at that time.
Yeah.
And that's a promise I'm going to make as a candidate running for city council at large. I will force the council to read the whole ordinance or resolution.
Whole ordinance. Yeah, that needs to be brought up too.
So
yeah,
I think that's big and important because a lot of times I don't have time to get on there and read the ordinances in complete. And I guess I should because I'm running for that position. But once I get on that position, I will. But you should be able to rely on your elected officials to be able to read those out and tell you what's all in that.
well, hell yeah, absolutely.
And Chris, I've asked 2 or 3 times in the council meetings over the last couple, 3 or 4 years. Let's read the whole ordinance. Nah,
Yeah.
it's online. It's on the
Yeah.
clerks. You can read
Yeah.
it on there.
Yeah.
That's not the point. What about the people that can't read them
Yeah.
online? What about the people that can't read?
Yeah. Right.
You know, this is 2023, but we still have people out there that when they were young, they had to go to work. They wasn't allowed to go to school and read. And you know, it's just reality, folks. Some people can't read, so they need to be read out in the council meetings, period.
Joey,
What'd Joey say?
he can't vote. He's just
Like the-
seriously, Muncie.
You know the Democrat motto,
Yeah. It don't
Vote-
matter. Yeah.
vote once, vote often, or however.
Vote early, vote often.
Vote early, vote often. No,
Yeah.
I don't agree with cheating. I don't agree with that shit. So
Hey, I also want to say, and I should have found a picture or done something, but I didn't. I should have said this at the beginning, and maybe I'll say something tomorrow. But a longtime Delaware County Politico, someone within the Delaware County government, within the clerk's office, voters registration, also a member of the Delaware County Party, Lesia Meir, passed away.
yes,
Lost her battle with cancer. Was it today or yesterday?
last night.
It was last night. So she passed away. That's really kind of a shock to me. I wasn't too long ago that I saw her. I didn't know she was sick, and so I hated
Well,
to hear that.
I think it creeped up on her pretty quick this last
Yeah,
battle.
yeah.
So
That's horrible. But
we had a fundraiser for, or they had a fundraiser for her I went to on Saturday the 7th, and the place was packed with both Democrat and Republicans showing support.
yeah, I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't.
She was only what, 52
Yeah,
years old?
yeah. If that.
If that. So,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, she was a elected official. She was on the advisory board for Center Township trustee,
Yeah.
and she worked in the clerk's office, and she was also the president of the Beech Grove board, Beech Grove Cemetery board.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's another big loss for us in Muncie.
Yeah.
And she did bleed blue. She was a diehard Democrat, but she was a very good person.
Yeah.
She was a very good person. I never heard her cuss. So, you know, and I was around her quite a bit in the last year and a half. So,
All right. Well, that's yeah.
what's the post-op time?
What?
Post-show time?
Post-op time.
Post-op? Post operation time.
What are we talking about? The postscript?
Postscript. That's it. That's
Postscript?
it. Yeah, postscript.
Postscript.
You guys have a good night.
Yeah,
Look for them ads on Facebook.
Yeah, stay there.
Okay.
Go down below real quick because I got something to tell you. I'll see you in a second. He's gone. Post-op. All right. Yeah, cancer's a bitch. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, that thing with Josh is disgusting. I hate it. I'm really pissed. I can't wait to see the whole video. LEESA being back in town is just absolutely disgusting to me. I don't know what her deal is. Hopefully she won't be there for long. If the citizens of District 4, I got to say, listen, I don't know what's going to happen with the election. We're going to do some interviews on the Winchester people next week. I don't know what's going to happen out in the whole election. I hope it shakes out the way I want it to. Hope Josh does good. I hope everybody does well. Hope Niles can beat back Bob. But for the love of God, if District 4 votes for LEESA, to hell with them. I mean, I don't know. They get what they get. Fuck all that. That's the postscript. And she won't interview with Bilbrey. So that's the postscript, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know what to do. Share the show with everyone you know. Take care. God bless. Have a good night. See you tomorrow at 9. Interview with Jeff Robinson Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You know what to do. Take care. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.